What up, what up, what up, guys? How's it going, guys? Welcome to today's podcast. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you guys on this lovely, lovely Sunday.
Yo.
This is our third episode of the one and
Sorry.
only Glitch Out podcast. We are honored to have the one and only my boy Rofcast. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen him around. He's around RP First, No Pixel. He's a great role player. We got my boy King of Soup. You guys know who he is, a variety streamer, really cool guy. And we got the one and only my boy Blackiechan from YouTube. He also streams on Mixer. And I don't know if he's going to do Twitch in the future. We'll see. But he makes great Minecraft content. All right. So welcome, ready today. We are going to be covering an assortment of different topics to talk about. We'll be talking about some things such as accountability in the content creator community. We're talking about communities, I guess the relationships between companies and content creators and the viewers and the fans. We'll also be talking about Fortnite, their new Battle Royale game mode. We're talking about Hellblade and some other topics. Accountability and professionalism are going to be the highlight of today's stream. I'm very excited to talk about that. I hope you guys are too. So we're going to go around the table and have everybody introduce themselves and just tell a little about themselves. King will do the same in case you guys haven't met him. Rolf will start off.
What's going on, guys? Rofcast. A lot of you guys have seen me arresting G. Wilkins or maybe arguing with, what was his name? Ken Richards? His lawyer character over on RP First. And I've been doing police roleplay for a couple of years now, messing around with PvP here and there. But I've been working with YouTube and Twitch for about a year and a half and been treating it as my career.
All right, Blackiechan.
All right. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Blackiechan or Blackiechan. You might see that as my intro, my videos, things like that. I do all kinds of vids, mostly Minecraft. That's where I got my start. But I do role plays. I do mini games. I mess around on Fortnite, like Glitch was saying a little bit earlier. And things like that. Mostly, I just like to have fun in my content because I know if I'm having fun, you guys are having fun too. But yeah, I'm glad to be here today.
All right, and my boy King.
We don't hear you, King.
I'm new to this podcast thing. Apparently, this is new. As I was saying, King of Soup, hashtag suck food, but that is what I'm known for, messing up everything I do. No, I'm just messing with you guys. But King of Soup here, variety streamer, having fun, trolling people, doing what we got to do. Glad to be here.
Welcome, everybody. So let's do this. All right. So let's start with my boy Rolf. Kind of give us a summary. I think you already did a little rundown of what games you play, what kind of content you did. We're gonna start with some questions. I'm gonna project these to King. I'm gonna project this to everybody here, in case you haven't met King, Rolf, Blackiechan, and King. Don't worry about me. But one question we're going to start with is, how did you get your name? We're going to start with Rolf, and then we're going to go Blackiechan, and then King with that question.
That is a very old story. So the name originates from Magic the Gathering. Me and my friends, we all started, it started in Diablo 2, but we all started naming characters in video games after Magic cards. And, everyone was named after a different legend. Miri Cat Warrior or whatever, or all those other things. And I picked Roffellos, which was a drunk-ass elf who hung out in the woods. I kind of felt like if magic cards are animals, that was my spirit animal. And I ended up playing Final Fantasy XI for 6 or 7 years. That was the MMO that sucked away my life. Character's name there was Roffellos. Played with a lot of my real life friends, and well, before you knew it, I had more friends in real life calling me Rolf than my actual name, James. So the name Rolf kind of stuck. As for Rofcast, we got a Chromecast and we set it up in the house. I needed a name for it, and I just called it Rofcast. And eventually I thought about bringing it over here and been using that since.
All right, Mr. One and Only Blackiechan.
All right. Well, my name Blackiechan it's unique, but it does have an origin story. So it kind of just came about, self-inflicted though. I'm I love like karate movies. Jackie Chan is like my all-time favorite karate action star. He's very credible, does all his own stunts, just like me in my videos. So I just kind of I was really drawn to Jackie Chan. I thought he was super cool. Um, I love like anything anime or ninja involved. So like Chinese, Japanese things, anything Oriental, like that's my style. That's my go-to. So along with that, I am also Black, as you can tell. So I was like, people bring it up in the comment section in my streams and things. And I was like, I can acknowledge it first and just kind of take ownership of it. So I thought it was a good way to kind of break down barriers and things like that and just kind of break the ice and get it over with, and it's also gives you a little bit of something to laugh at too. So I thought it was the name for me.
Nice. Another fellow anime fan. Nice. All right, so I'm gonna present the Roth. So when did you start streaming? When was the start of your journey? This epic journey you've been.
I started streaming. Well, I usually answer this question and I say about 4 years ago, but I think that's kind of changed. I'm at 5 years now. And it was a hobby. Basically, the term small streamer, big dreamer, it applied to me for so long. And I had a different name, Metal Gear Roth. It was a really weeby name because there was Metal Gear Rex and there was Metal Gear Ray. What?
I said I was digging it.
Okay. There was Metal Gear Rex and there was Metal Gear Ray, but I was Metal Gear Roth. So that was my name. And then, it wasn't like big, but it started to get bigger. And I could see that I knew what path I wanted to take here with streaming. I knew I wanted to evolve it from a hobby to something more. And I was thinking to myself two things. First of all, when you would go into someone's channel and start talking or following, unless they had better Twitch TV, it didn't matter how you cased your name. It would just pronounce it show it with the first letter capital, and the rest would all be lowercase, no matter what you did. So I was finding myself constantly being called Metal Gear of, and occasionally people go like, Metal Gear of like what? I don't get it. And I was just like, no more. We're moving on. And then the Chromecast thing, and then moved on with the new name, rebranded. Started off. I think we started off with Destiny because I was playing Destiny when I was with the old name. So we started the new name, new brand, new logo, which I'll get into in a minute. And I had this. It was the first experience I ever had where my stream kind of blew up, just a really small time, but because I was on the PlayStation Network, and people who were looking for other streams on the PlayStation Network would only find people who were streaming from it. So based on how frequently I was playing the game, it kind of blew up a little bit. I ended up building a community, and it was the first time I really had the feel of a community that was like, mine to mold. The people who were in it, if they were toxic, they could go. If they were good, they got promoted. If they thought like me, if they were on the same level as the group. And it was a really good feeling to kind of have the wheel for such a project. And I've done that several more times over the years with police, roleplay, and other PvP groups on DayZ Mod. But everything really kind of changed about a year and a half ago. I was playing on the Orgabyte server on Arma 3. I mean, I know almost everyone here is familiar with Arma 3, but if you don't know Orgabyte, it was a roleplay server unlike any other with an original map. No more Lakeside. It was a map that was changing every day or every month. And Devil Dog Gamer came there one day. I pulled him over because he wasn't wearing a helmet. He couldn't wear a helmet because he didn't have the DLC, so he was getting some weird overlay, which I found out later. Didn't know that when I pulled him over, though. So here we are. He's like, I can't see out the visor, so we have a little conversation. That week, 80,000 people found out who Rofcast was, and they got to decide whether or not they wanted to watch him again.
Nice.
And that was when everything changed.
It's awesome.
All right, and to you, Blackiechan.
So I kind of got started nearly 5 years ago on YouTube. It'll be 5 years next month, actually, in October. But I basically got started there. Just kind of, I started watching YouTube. YouTube wasn't really like a big thing when I was younger. And I started watching YouTube to get tips and tricks on how to do stuff in like my favorite games, things I was doing. I was like, I can't let these other kids playing Call of Duty or playing whatever game get ahead of me. I need to like get a foothold on something. So I started watching YouTube. And about this time, my nephew introduced me to a game called Minecraft, and I was really enjoying it. And that's kind of how I got into it. I was like, you know, if I struggled this bad, it took me like a week to learn how to survive a night in Minecraft. I don't know what changed, but to me, it feels like creepers were way more aggressive in Minecraft back in the day. And so it was impossible for me to survive like a single night in Minecraft. So I was like, I'm going to do a tips and tricks series. I'm going to just survive in Minecraft, upload it to YouTube, let people see how I'm making it through the first night and see how they receive it. So I kind of got started out with Let's Plays and things like that on Minecraft. And I just kind of kept doing it. I kind of met a bunch of people in the community while they were still small as well. So as I made videos with people like Big B Stats, Stampy Cat, Mango Tango, people like that. I was helping them with role plays, helping them with survival series, helping them with Hunger Games things and things like that. And we all just kind of really enjoyed it. And there was really a big community there that was all kind of all in on it and coming to see videos and stuff. And so I kind of stuck with that. I moved over to doing some stuff on Twitch. It didn't go great on Twitch for me personally, because I didn't know what I was doing. But recently I kind of picked up trying to live stream a little bit more and found out about Mixer, started streaming over there. And I've been streaming to Mixer for maybe about 2.5 months, I think now. So it's going pretty well over there. So I'm happy about it, and I'm going to keep streaming.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys can answer this whatever order you guys want to, but what made you choose the game you chose? I know, Blackiechan, you do Minecraft, and my boy Rofcast, you do predominantly RP. What made you choose that game, that section, I guess that genre?
Okay. I can go. I mean, I kind of glazed over a little bit.
Yeah.
My nephew introducing it to me. And it was just what I was really interested in at the time. I didn't know anything about like the bigger YouTubers who did Minecraft or anything like that. I just kind of dove in head first. I still cringe if I go back and watch my very first video. I'm like,
I think we all
hi, my name's Blackiechan, and this is my first video in my world. It's the worst thing ever, and I don't even want to see it again. But I just kind of just kept doing it, even though I had like just people watching here and there, and it seemed like people enjoyed it. So I just kept with Minecraft, and I still do Minecraft, and my love for it's still there, even though I'm enjoying some other games right now too.
All right. And Rofcast?
All right. So for me, I'd say the big thing that got me into Arma itself and finding more than just killing people from as far away as possible and getting as much loot as possible. I was really just inspired by a lot of other content creators. First, inspired to stream because now this isn't down talking the profession in any way, shape, or form, obviously, because I love it and I know what it takes to get to it every day. But I was watching Towley, World of Warcraft stream, just MMOs in general, mostly WoW. And I'm sitting there watching him and I'm having a great time watching. And I think to myself, he's not doing anything that I couldn't do. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
And I kind of thought the same thing when I watched a few other YouTubers. Now, granted, some of them were doing things I really didn't understand with editing software and stuff, but the general idea of what they were doing, a good example would be Frankie on 1080 PC.
Mm-hmm.
He was going out there not looking for blood, but he was looking for as much quality content as you could get. And from someone like that, that's when you realize that a conversation is so much better than that shot from the hill. You know, you could take your experience so many different ways. And I started watching Arma roleplay because of people like TVS BOH. And eventually I was in this cop stream, and I watched him patrol for like 10 hours, and I was glued to the screen like it was a cops marathon. And it took me a while to actually get on a force from there. But after watching that stream all day, I was like, that is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I thought to myself, what they're doing is great, but it's nothing that I can't do too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So chase it. They're killing it. Go kill it too.
Yeah, it definitely you took inspiration from that. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Okay. This is actually a really good question, which I think about myself. I mean, Key, you could even answer this. It says, how are you staying relevant with the new games coming out? Just how are you trying to stay relevant in the fluctuating, I guess, ecosystem of Twitch and YouTube? I guess streaming in general out there, content creating.
That's damn hard. That's what I have to say. Because especially with me, and I'm sure Blackiechan feels this as well, like starting your basis of your channel and your stream and all that on one game, and then when new stuff comes out, people get burnt out with that, want to go different. They're like, oh, why don't you play whatever? And you're like, okay, I guess I'll play it. And then the other half is like, why aren't you playing whatever anymore? It's like,
100%.
dude. And so it's just this dance all the time,
Mm-hmm.
trying to stay relevant and keep everybody excited and still want to come back for more. I mean, it's rough. So it's just, I think, just testing a little bit of things here and there. That's how I'm trying to stay relevant. It's just try the game, see if it works out, and move on from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. No, I totally agree with that. I think it's really hard, and I think that's why right now you're seeing a lot of people creating. I guess some people get. I mean, and there's really a thin line with what I'm about to say, which is the difference between like a trending video, like a topic that's trending that you use in a video, and clickbait. I think people really confuse the two, and they kind of meld them together, whether something's trending or clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
As a content creator, we can look at it completely differently as a viewer would look at it. But to me, I think finding those little like nuances within your video
Mm-hmm.
where you reference something that is on topic with what's current is probably like a trap that a lot of people get into. But I mean, it's kind of how you have to play the game with the way algorithms work and stuff on YouTube and on
Mm-hmm.
pretty much everywhere else. But you know, you kind of want to put your own twist on what's trending, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do. I don't do it as much now, but I mean, it's really a struggle. You just kind of do what I personally try to do what I would find entertaining, and try to give it an interesting title that still keeps it true to what my video is, along with all the like tags and things as well that you have to work on the
Yeah.
YouTube side of it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chasing trends is like the most exhausting thing of
Oh,
all
it
time.
is.
It really
is.
is.
Holy crap.
It is. And I was just gonna say that, like, because I know Twitch and YouTube are similar, obviously live than re-recorded and edited content, but there's trends everywhere. I mean, there's like either a new game came out, everybody's playing. Do you jump on that bandwagon, even if you don't like the game? You know what I mean? That's a struggle I think everybody has. Even I have. I'm pretty sure all of us have. Even like streamers who've been streaming for years have. Like, do I stick to my content? Do I play the games I like? Or do I add another game to my roster? That new PlayerUnknown Battleground that came out, or Destiny 2 that came out. And I think everybody struggles with this every single month, because you constantly think to yourself, if I don't jump on the bandwagon, will I see growth? Will I not see growth? Or is it just, I don't care, I'm having fun in this game, my community's having a good time, I'll stick to this?
You cut out. We can't hear you.
yeah, I think we lost you. Glitch.
I cut out?
I don't
Yeah.
know if the stream heard you, but we couldn't.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, I'll re-say it. But just talking about trade, what did you guys catch? What did you guys miss?
I think we just missed the very, very end of what you said.
We
Oh,
only
no.
lost about 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I was just talking about trends. Sorry about that. I was just talking about trends. And do you pretty much follow them, or do you just blaze your own path? You know what I mean?
They're tricky.
Yeah.
Very, very tricky. Very tricky.
Here's what you got to ask yourself. When you're going to enter a brand new game, do you have the actual skills at the game,
Mhm.
the connections, like the networking, the pre-existing follows and regulars in order to even get out of rank? where you're not just going to blend in with 2, 3, sometimes 4,000 other people all doing the exact same thing. I've actually titled my stream before when I was one of a million people playing something, just another bearded idiot playing Destiny. You know, that was my way of saying, like, my regulars will come, but why the hell would a random come? I mean, why would someone pick this stream out of a million? Now, I mean, if you've got the right connections and you're good at what you do and you take it professionally, then good things might come to you. Might, usually, but not always. Basically, to really chase something that's trending is a big risk. I think a lot of people might have better luck chasing a niche, or maybe something that just hasn't been discovered yet. But
it's like being yourself, but at the same time trying to be different. It's hard to find that. Yeah, and it's hard to find that. And I would say for the most part, like my stuff is being, you know, a troll and raiding, and we started out in Ark, but then moving on from that to other games and kind of looking for the end to be funny and mess with people a little bit. You know, you can kind of move that from game to game without being a jerk. Obviously, it's not like every first person shooter you're trying to troll people, but like those kinds of survival games, there's a way to still have that same type of content, and you can do that as a different content creator that's not being a troll, obviously, but like having that same genre of events that happen throughout each type of game you play, I think is important. Keeping your stuff the same.
I think the risk, and I'm kind of in the midst of this. The risk is like I'm a role player. I love role play, but we all know role play. Rolf knows this. Role play gets a little dry sometimes. You try to mix it up to keep your sanity about you and your community, you know. And I'm in the midst of kind of switching to a player unknown, and it's holding me over until Destiny 2 comes out. And Destiny 2 is like the polar opposite of games I normally play. I'm not a competitive player. I play games like RP to have fun, to relax, but as gamers and as streamers, we all evolve, you know? We all want to, like, hey, that game is cool. We want to play it. And it really sucks to see a game come out and you're like, nope, I can't play that game because it doesn't fit it doesn't fit the mold of the community or what I do. You know what I mean? I see, you know, Blackiechan's laughing because I'm pretty sure you run into the same thing. Like, man, I like that game. Like Fortnite, I like that game, but will my community like it too? I think everybody runs into that. And the problem is, well, I would say a problem. The thing that arises is, like with my community, if I'm playing Pug, back when I started playing Pug, they're like, oh, this isn't RP. When's RP coming? Which I don't blame them because they're here to watch RP. They're here to watch what I normally do. But at the same time, it's like you want to introduce variety. Variety in any form is good on YouTube and Twitch. You know what I mean? No matter what any content creator says, every single streamer wants to be able to play any game and do anything they want and still get the views for it or get paid for it, you know?
Everybody wants the lyric life.
That lyric life.
Let's hold 36K and play, you know, Daddy Dating Sim or whatever trending game it is, and same amount of people show up.
And no face cam. No face cam.
Gosh.
Yeah, no face cam. I
like,
try to hold
that's what blows my mind about that particular channel is that there's no face cam. Like that's the life. Like you just chill on the couch and just go for it, you know.
Chill in your undies.
And that's this is the thing about it is that's exactly what we think, but we don't know the process behind it. We don't know if it's somebody just chilling on the couch, just leisurely.
If he sweats
just like
the whole time.
butt naked on a bear rug, laying on the ground, playing Destiny for like 7 or 8 hours straight.
You have no idea either.
Like we don't know, but he could have a whole team he might have like the whole room like soundboard
like
stuff. I'm knocking cheap off of my Xbox, but like he could have like sound like dampeners everywhere. He could. I mean, we don't know. He could be in his office. I'm not sure, but that's how we feel as viewers and content creators is we want to get to that place, but nobody's sure how to do it. It's not an exact science.
There's no formula.
Yeah, you can watch as many of those like promoted ads on Facebook that say, "Come watch this video series. I'm going to teach you how to make a living doing what you love."
Yep.
And you'll watch the video 1,000 times and leave it at the same place you went in.
Yep.
You just don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey. There's no rule book to it. I mean, there's kind of guidelines. You don't do this, you don't do that, you don't stream butt naked and get banned off Twitch. You know, which is kind of common sense. You don't do it on YouTube either. You know, you might get a couple views for
Just
it, but
a speedo like JT.
or you mean like JT and wear a speedo. He just does whatever he wants. Okay, all right. And then okay, so this is a really cool one. Do you have any big plans for your stream, your content, your YouTube channel? Do you have any like? Are you looking at it as just, oh, I make YouTube videos or I stream in case of Rofcast, or you're looking at this is the bigger picture. This is what I want to do in the end. This is my end game.
Well, I'm trying to work on a YouTube revival as well as the future of my stream. I mean, YouTube is mostly going to revolve around RP for me personally, but the stream itself, you know, that's always got to stay fresh in some way. And if RP is not going to be fresh, recording, you can cut out. You can drive around for 4 hours. You can cut out 3.5 hours and get 30 minutes of good footage and still have a good day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But for streaming, if that's all that happened, if you only had 30 minutes that were memorable in a 4-hour stream, then you, I mean, as far as the action or the role play goes, you didn't really have that great of a stream that day. And that's walking away from that, you just kind of feel bummed out. I mean, exceptions if you just had a super interactive stream.
Oh yeah.
Reason, but,
yeah.
And YouTube, I kind of want to always keep RP going. It's the only thing people have ever come to my YouTube channel for, pretty much ever, regardless of the game. And I enjoy that the stories can be there, and it's easier for people to keep up with those. Streaming itself, if people miss a big stream, and then they see the next day, like it's all of a sudden they're seeing the funeral and they don't know who got killed or how, then I mean that's a big gap. So streaming for me personally, I'm gonna be looking more into action games. I mean, we've talked about Destiny a lot here in this channel.
Destiny
I have experience running a community in Destiny 1.
Ooh, I can't wait.
And it was a great feeling, like I mentioned earlier. And I want to do it again. I want to try and get a few of the same people back. But PC to console to PC, Destiny, night and day, plain and simple.
Yeah.
And I want that on my channel, and I want to build a community based on my clan and their friends, and anyone else who just wants to hang and watch. I do want to build a community that has a strong core around Destiny, but that's where we run into the problem I mentioned earlier with trending games. You're just another asshole in a whole sea of assholes who are trying to do this one thing. So you got 30 seconds. Why should I watch you?
Yeah. How do you like it comes down to like, I kind of want to branch off that. 2 questions. Like, how do you stand out in the sea of fish? Like plenty of fish. There's millions and millions of goldfish out there. We're just a couple of them. How do you try to stand out? You know what I mean? What do you do to stand out? I mean, you don't have to tell me your secret formula. You know what I mean? But what do you do to try to stand out, to get exposure?
For me, I try to do, and I think we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but like for me, I try my best to approach things like in my own way, and that's not always the best way to go about it. And honestly, it's the smartest way to go about it if you're starting off, because that means if you're going to do it the way you want to do it and you continue to do it that way, then you're always going to be doing something that you love to do, something that you're enjoying doing. But that's just not always the case. Like, I don't really know how you stand out among everybody. I would say, like, I don't know how you absolutely do that all the time. But I mean, I think right now the thing that really works is just building a community, and having a community that is welcoming and non-judgmental and just an enjoyable place to be, where you don't feel left out. And I really think that personalities is where everything's going. And that's why people are attracted to streams, because you've got a personality. The game's not always the same, but if you've got a personality someone can connect with, then I think that's kind of how you stand out. It's just about making that connection with people. How you go about making that connection,
yeah, yep.
That's
I mean, what do you think, Rolf?
I think an interesting title, and I mean, you can't control the thumbnail that people are about to have on Twitch, but think about it while you're streaming. Not necessarily go around fail RPing and holding everyone up, but think about stuff like, well, when I'm pointing a gun at someone, or if I'm looking at jail bars, regardless whether I'm the cop looking at you, or you're in there, or someone else is in there looking at the cop. That's an interesting thumbnail. You have someone's attention while they're going through their following list or the sea of new people in GTA. But for me personally, I actually stuck out really well in what I was doing because there wasn't this totally other community that was doing it before I got there. At least that was as popular in specifically that. I started doing police RP, and people were catching my thumbnail because I was wearing, if you're familiar with the blue Elmo hat from Arma. Well, I mean, it's this.
Yep. Yep.
I gotta wear it for at least the explanation. But I was, all of a sudden you're looking at your thumbnails, and you get half the people in Armor are wearing a friggin' horse hat, the other half are wearing a helmet going to war. All of a sudden, why is this guy wearing a police uniform and an Elmo hat? You've got my attention. And then when they're in there, I got comments about the voice I chose to use. So find a way to make them look, and that's half of it. Then you got to find a way to get them to not stop looking.
Got to find a way to click. Yeah. So you're pretty much saying, to sum it up, you're pretty much saying have something visually that'll reach out and grab them.
You got to be different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's not just personality; it's your looks, or it's your traits, your characteristics, your charisma, I should say.
Yeah, got to get them through.
You have a better chance if you have more than one, gimmick. If it's just like you dress like crazy person in real life, or if your character looks a certain way. But if you have all that stuff, then you have a much better chance.
Yeah, because like in Rofcast's case, the Elmo hat would bring me in, and I'd have a lot of life questions of where he was going with this Elmo hat and what he was doing at night with it. But but that would obviously get me in.
I love my Elmo hat.
Yeah, but then like his personality, his charisma, or his RP would hook me. So you got to find a way to get people in, and you got to find a way to keep them in. And then after you keep them in, you got to find a way to make that personal connection with them. I think that's really good information. That's really good stats right there for a lot of people thinking about starting to stream or currently stream. I never thought of it that way. You got to find a way to get them in, got to find a way to keep them, and then make that personal connection.
Don't lie to them though with your thumbnail.
I'm not saying lie. Don't lie.
No, never start your relationship with your viewer by
10,000-degree hot knife. Minecraft hot knife.
It's so true. G. Wilkins with a hot knife.
I was in one of those videos. Hold up.
No,
it wasn't my video, but
that's awesome.
This is true. It happened.
Destiny 2 300 kill streak.
But I mean, the thing is on Twitch and YouTube, they're two different beats. When I'm scrolling through Twitch, I might honestly, for me, I don't really look at titles. I pretty much just go down the stream. I kind of see what game they're playing, and if they look interesting, I'll click. You know what I mean? Like Rolf says, I think on YouTube you gotta have, that term clickbait titles. You know what I mean? Because people love outrageous things.
Yeah.
And I think this applies more to Jackie, to Blackiechan. How do you? And I don't want to single you out, but what do you think about clickbait titles? Do you use them? Do you kind of just like, if you can't beat them, join them? Or is it just like, I pretty much this title, and I don't lie, and I kind of keep it how it is?
Well, the thing about like, I know people who clickbait title. I know people who clickbait title and thumbnail.
Oh,
and I know people who just thumbnail, don't clickbait title. But, really, for me, I've always, because I'm a creative thinker, I always try to think of a way to creatively say what you're going to see in my video, rather than just doing a straight up video, mini game, Bed Wars number 323. Because in reality, you're playing Bed Wars. If you were a player of Bed Wars this summer, you played it a whole lot because that was like the hottest mini game in Minecraft. So you pick something interesting or hilarious that happened in your stream. At least this is what I would do. I'd pick something interesting or hilarious that happened within the video that I would personally say, now that sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So so I would do that kind of thing for my picture or for my titles, and I would try to come up with an interesting thumbnail. I mean, it's hard to have an in-game screenshot or whatever for your thumbnail with Minecraft stuff, given even with all the different mods and things you can do. So a lot of times you just render it out and add something that looks interesting. I mean, everybody can't do one of these
for every single
thumbnail that they create because
yeah.
everything is not that scary or exciting, like ever. Like everything can't be the same emotion all the time. So
yeah, very true.
So that's just kind of how I try to play it. I try to keep it original. I try to find an interesting way to convey stuff.
Okay. All right. And
Yeah.
Go Rough.
I have a thought on clickbait. I was just going to say it goes back to what I said earlier about never lying, first and foremost, to your viewers. But when you have an opportunity, when you see something that you can be truthful about, and you know people are going to look at it and basically make that face, like go for it.
Yeah,
run for it actually, because it could change your life. I mean, not that this was like a life changer or anything, but when I looked through my GTA videos, one that got more views than any other, way faster, was called Strip Club Shootout. Do you remember the GTA?
Yeah, I remember that.
I went in there, I pointed a gun at someone, I was like, shut up, and then all of a sudden 15 strippers were running at me with a knife. A thumbnail of 15 women in bikinis running at me and a knife called Strip.
View will
click. I looked at that and I said, that's going to have more views than any other video. And I think I was right.
Yeah, people will break their mouse to click that thumbnail in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you gotta look for those windows. And that's something that's if you're a smart creator, you're going to. So that's
So
that's definitely the way to go about it.
You gotta ride that line.
Gotta be careful.
So I wouldn't necessarily call it clickbait for I guess you would say some people do it, but I would call it taking advantage of the situation. You know, using that, like the thumbnail of the 15 strippers chasing Rofcast down the street, use that situation or use that thumbnail for the better. Okay, I got you.
I wouldn't consider that clickbait because that legitimately happened in the video. Sure. The title, I don't know what you'd use for the title, but like there's nothing about that didn't happen or that was embellished. Unless you went in Photoshop and made all the boobs of the strippers way bigger. I don't know how you're making your content stuff. I mean,
I would call it bait because I'm deliberately picking like the dirtiest possible way to portray it and throwing that in their face. Basically just going right for the sex.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's like you said, if it's you're positioning it that way, then maybe that falls a little bit farther towards clickbait. But if it's just legitimately like your thought is, dang, that's the most action packed whatever, that's got to be the title or that's got to be the thumbnail.
That's very true. Yeah, I've definitely been on YouTube and I've clicked some thumbnails and I'm like, where is this image? This didn't even happen on YouTube. I'm looking through the suggestions like, bro, I know that thumbnail. I'm looking for that. You know what I mean? We all know what I'm talking about.
That knife is way too orange. I did not get that.
It's not as orange as they said it would be, and I'm pretty sure that's not 1,000 degrees. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's how you get them. But like Rob says, I mean, in the sea of all these goldfish, or the tank of goldfish, whichever we want to say, you gotta stand out, and people do what they gotta do at the end of the day, And unfortunately, you gotta try to outdo them somewhere somehow. All right, so this kind of ties in there. So what do you guys, what's your guys' opinions on these platforms, these content creating platforms, pros and cons, and which one do you think is better? Mixer, YouTube, Twitch, and then there's Hitbox, and I know there's a few others. How do you feel about those?
I think I'll go ahead and clear because I think everybody's on the same page about it, which is the fact that YouTube is slipping. It's really slipping, and right now it feels like the bottom of the barrel of all the different platforms that you can create content to. And that's just I feel like everybody feels that way because there's already a lot of animosity there. between, well, not really animosity between anyone, but just a feeling of animosity where it's almost like everybody feels like they can't do anything right. And I know with like the ad apocalypse thing and everything that happened, where the ad revenue, some of the groups there pulled out of ads on YouTube or whatever. Like everybody's getting hit by it. It doesn't matter what kind of content you create.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how family friendly it is, or family friendly, or how, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter what's in your video, what your title is, what your tags are. Everybody's getting hit for at least a few videos over the last few weeks. So I mean, I keep all my stuff family friendly. I have the most random videos, a little list of the most random videos that were chosen to be non-advertiser friendly, whatever that happens to mean. And I have no idea why, and they don't to you when they send you the email. And and so you just look at it, you say, did I make this video unadvertiser friendly or whatever? I even went back and watched one of my videos over again just because I was like, did I do something in this? And I didn't. And so I was like, all right, well, I gotta click this and get them to appeal it or whatever. So
yeah,
it's so frustrating, especially when you know in your heart, and your whole point is to like toe that line, family friendly, family friendly, family friendly. There's got to be something in that algorithm from YouTube where you just said, you know, half of the first word you said and the beginning of the second word you said somehow sounded similar to something that's in the algorithm. They're like, nope, demonetized, you know?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And I mean, like we were talking before we started the podcast, I think right now the algorithm, it's brand new and it's learning. You know, unfortunately, it's catching a lot of people like Blackiechan and Rofcast, I'm pretty sure King, and a bunch of other people in the crosshairs, you know?
I actually haven't had any, knock on wood, demonetized for
me neither. I haven't either.
Friendly, so
yeah,
they're definitely there. There's definitely a few of them that are there.
Yeah, and the thing is, some people are saying, well, you know, once they find you, you're pretty much in this crosshairs and you can't get out.
I think. Yeah,
you know. Do you think it kind of flags you and you're kind of like, well, you know, I got my eye on you.
Yeah,
you know.
I consider myself pretty R-rated.
You're like on probation now.
Yeah, I consider myself to be pretty R-rated, and as soon as the adpocalypse happened, that was when I lost about. It started at 50%, but eventually, when you know more people just started to dip off, I wasn't growing. So overall, I lost about 75% of my YouTube viewership.
Okay.
And it started.
It's rough.
Yeah. Well, the thing is how I see it right now. Sorry to go on this round. I could talk all day, but the thing is I see it right now. A lot of people make their money off YouTube for AdSense, right? You know, views, clicks, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think some of the things a lot of people don't realize is there's more than just ad revenue. I mean, you got Philip DeFranco. You got a lot of YouTubers who are openly very transparent about how they make money and what avenues they make it. You know, there's a lot of videos out there, how to make money on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like from video influencers, there's a bunch of other ones, very informative. And some people, I mean, Philip DeFranco said the other day, he says, you know what? A lot of my videos are getting flagged because what I cover is very controversial news or I say the wrong word. He says, I don't care. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay true to my content. And I have enough sponsors or companies that want to back me or pay into my content enough to sustain myself, you know? Yeah. And that right there is a horrible thing to hear. And YouTube's got to say, like, hey, some of my best content creators are sitting here saying, we don't care about AdSense. We don't care about ad revenue. We don't care about YouTube. We're just going to use a platform and I'm going to support myself, you know? Which does allow you to be more free with your content. But at the same time, it's like, man, YouTube, you gotta do something about this, you know?
Yeah. Two good examples of that would be Polecat, a GTA content creator, and H3H3, which I think everyone knows, Vape Nation.
Oh, H3H3,
They were very exclusive YouTube, living life. That was all they were doing. As soon as Adpocalypse hits, they both create Twitch accounts and learn how to stream.
Yeah.
Wait, does H3H3 stream?
He has a podcast actually covering. I watched a podcast the other day covering a topic that we're going to be discussing tonight, and it was actually.
I love it. H3H3s, I like him. Okay, I didn't know that.
It's a good podcast. I like it.
Okay, perfect. All right. So I mean, kind of on that, I guess this consensus is pretty much each is a different beast. You know, none's better than the other. They all have their growing pains, their pros and cons, and you could use. I mean, a lot of people see like, well, I'm just gonna be on Twitch. I don't care about YouTube. Like it's this war right now, this eternal war between F YouTube or F Twitch. You could use both of them to your advantage. Like I know, like, you know, I think Rofcast and King and I do it too. I mean, we stream on Twitch and then we upload our highlights or, you know, some video cut from our stream on YouTube, or like King does, makes his Twitch content, goes live, and later in the day edit some other videos for some other content. So I think it's a good way to pair both of them together and to build a community and be successful. You know, I mean, I think honestly, I think it's a must. It is a must.
You just got to evolve with the. I mean, doesn't matter what happens. You can cry about it, and you're just going to lose. You got to adapt to what's happening. That's the only thing to say about it. Yeah,
that's very true. You got to adapt. I mean, you can hold your grudge all day long, but you got to adapt. That's very true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for me, I'm trying to hit some other places. Like I know you asked the question earlier about like, what do we have other plans for our channels or whatever. And I mean, I'm Minecraft kind of introduced, or Mojang that creates Minecraft introduced like the new marketplace. I'm got a small team who's trying to create maps to go out there, and we just recently got approved for it.
Nice.
We're just waiting to see if we can start selling our maps over on the marketplace. And then also started trying to stream regularly too. And then I've also got like another side project that's really big that I hadn't really announced, but I've got little things about it. It's an animated thing, but
okay.
Cool.
But you know, I'm trying to make it work because, you know, I've been doing YouTube for a while, and I have people who've been all right alongside me the whole time, and some of them are huge now. Some of them are making more than a living, even now with the ad apocalypse and everything. And, you know, content creation's like my dream. So I'm like, I've taken a little bit of extra time out of work even to be able to stream Mondays Fridays through Mondays as well, and then try to create content to go out in the days in between for my YouTube channel. So the struggle's there, and I mean, we're all feeling it and trying to get there. Because if there's one thing we can all have in common, no matter what venue you are creating content for, it's that we all love to game and we all love our communities.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
True. Okay. All right. Well, this kind of ties into what you said. If you could stream any or edit any type of content, what would it be? Different than what you're doing right now, whether it be a game, whether it be doing a talk show, whether it be, I mean, vlogging. If you could do any other, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch, if you could do any other content that you wholeheartedly want to do, what would it be?
I think I would personally stick with gaming, but the only reason I would be able to make this change, I'm pretty basic with my editing skills. I know how to cut it, I know how to fade it, I know how to add text, images, but there's really just a whole world that I don't understand in there. And if I really did learn how to do more, then I kind of feel like I'd be inspired by Donkey to make shorter but absolutely more ridiculous, off the wall reviews. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Donkey, but you could learn a whole lot about a game in just 2 minutes from one of his videos, and you will laugh your ass off.
Video Game Donkey, that's his name?
Yeah, that's the guy. And just, I mean, I'm not very, very good with editing software. I mean, I just picked it up a couple of years ago and taught myself how to use it.
All right, I'll definitely check that out.
So many more tricks.
I'll check that out.
But it's more than just that. Also,
he's very funny. He's actually how I found out about a few games.
Oh wow,
definitely worth watching. Not family friendly.
Yeah, yeah. And, okay. Yeah. So I kind of want to touch on one more thing. What we talked about is two things. This is my mentality about the situation. When I first started streaming, I was like, you know what, family friendly. That I'm gonna emphasize on that. And a lot of people come to my stream, and a lot of people would tweet me out on Twitter and talk to me like, bro, props, man, for keeping your stream family friendly. Because I used to be like, no cursing, you know, obviously good vibes, which is everybody wants good vibes in their chat and their community, you know what I mean? But I was really a stickler on cursing. One day somebody was like, gee, I don't know if it was like Liniver or someone. One day somebody came to me in chat and was like, gee, you're playing roleplay. You're cutting off people's fingers. You're cutting off gingerbread guys' foots and stuff on the black market to being a vampire and shooting people, and we can't curse. And I was like, that makes sense. I mean, I'm over here just murking people And I'm just like, don't you say that word. And it wasn't because so much like I don't curse, because I think we all curse, you know what I mean? But I don't curse a profuse amount where every other word needs to be cursed, and I can control it, which I have no problem doing. And it's like, I just said, whatever. Let's open Pandora's box. You guys can curse, but do not angle it towards someone. Don't target someone, because that's my whole thing. I wanted to keep toxicity away from the chat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you kind of have to make this choice. I mean, even like on YouTube, I haven't really started officially YouTube, but it's like when I do, I know that now I need to be family friendly, which is not hard, And for all those people out there who are just like, well, YouTube let us do whatever they wanted to let us do, and now they're cracking down. Why now? And it kind of sucks for them, because it's like a lot of the content creators, like, I mean, even Donkey, like you pointed out, it's really hard to switch your content, what people are used to, what they expect to. Now you got to water it down or dumb it down to family friendly. In
order to still stay relevant and make money and not do it for free. I mean,
yeah,
absolutely. But I think it's what we've talked about before, is it's like, regardless of the way everything is going, you still got to adapt. We can still complain and cry about it. But then back to what you're saying about being family friendly, we discussed this probably every podcast a little bit of just, it's more often you're going to have somebody say, thank you for being family friendly, instead of someone coming and being like, where's the F-bombs, dude? This is boring. Like, that's probably not going to happen.
Like, bro, you better drop that F-bomb, man. I want to hear it 10 more times, bro. 10 more times. Right now. Yeah, that is a very good point of view. Yeah, I mean, no one's going to be like, bro, you better drop that B word right now, bro. Give it to me. I just need it right now. No one's going to be like that. But, I would never go in the stream like
fix.
Yeah, I need my fix. I would never go in Rofcast stream like, bro, come on, man, you better say that word right now, man. You better say that word, But I will go in the stream like, okay, this guy's a wholesome, genuine guy, and he doesn't curse every 5 minutes.
Dare I suggest a couple of people that have toned? Well, I can think of one specifically. If anyone else has any suggestions, but someone really famous who toned it down, and I haven't watched anything he's done since. Eddie Murphy.
I haven't watched Eddie Murphy.
I really didn't ever watch Eddie Murphy.
He toned it down because he said one day, someone's like, why do you keep on making movies like this? And he says, I don't want to make movies that I can't take my kid to. And I'm just like,
that makes sense.
That's not worth like blowing it completely.
But you gotta, I mean, he's been in the business for a long time. He probably can afford to do it. That's the thing. He can probably afford to do it. So he's like, and that kind of ties into like the battle I think every streamer has. Do I do it just because it brings the revenue in that I can support myself, or do I do it because I truly want to do it? You know what I mean? And I think every content creator does with it, whether you're a painter, a dancer, anything in creative arts. We're all in creative arts, whether we stream or not, as a content creator, we all struggle with it, And I think because he can afford to do it, to make that decision.
Yeah. I mean, you could lump, and I feel like they don't really, it's like a weird thing happened. Eddie Murphy came out and said that, but some other people who have kind of taken a back seat on it, but haven't really said why. You could throw in like Ice Cube and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and say he kind of did the same thing too. He's remaking the Jumanji movie, which could be a whole nother podcast about why that is or is not a good thing.
Yeah,
but like it's just it's a weird land. Like I've always been. I don't want to make the type of content I wouldn't want my nephew to be able to watch like in front of his grandma.
That's very true.
So that was kind of like my stance on it. And the more I get into streaming, almost the less I care. And that's because it's really, I mean, and I think it's hard for content creators because viewers really stress, are you who you really say you are in your content? And for me, it's not that hard to not be like vulgar. I'm used to not being that way, but I still play games like Gears of War, Destiny, PUBG, stuff like that. But and being like someone who did like drama in high school and stuff like that, I was always taught that like that anything racially charged or I don't know, like lifestyle jokes, like whether somebody's gay or not, and cursing were always really cheap ways to get a laugh. So that's always been something I've in the back of my head, without even acknowledging myself, have always kind of avoided as a way to get people's attention and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, I just kind of just don't do it. Just doesn't really come naturally for me.
Yeah.
Just because that's just the way I kind of chose to do things for several years. So
Yeah. And the thing is, like, people could see right through it. I think some content creators on both platforms or any platform, they think, oh, you know, this front I'm putting up, this mask I put on, people can't notice that I'm not like this. And the thing is, viewers have pretty good perception to be like, that's not who you are, you know, or they notice something's off, you know, because I've seen plenty of content creators on YouTube and on Twitch, and I'm like, this just seems like a little too much, over the top, you know.
We all know it's going to come out eventually.
It's going to come out eventually. You're going to show your true colors eventually. But, you know, yeah, definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move on. We're going to cover a game that I think all of us, me, King, and Blackiechan would talk about. I don't know if you've heard about this game, Fortnite, which is a really cool PvE and now PvP game. Blackiechan, take it away.
Okay. So we were going to talk a little bit about Fortnite. It seems to be pretty popular, not quite as popular as other games like PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I know I saw Glitch playing it yesterday on Twitch, but it's called Fortnite. It's basically a game that is completely based on building a fort at night when zombies come, but instead of zombies, they call them husks. It's kind of a combination of like all my favorite games. It's got some mining because you have a giant pickaxe, you tear down cars, tear down boulders, tear down buildings, whatever, to get your supplies, and you use it to make walls or stairs or floor or devices that are used for like traps and things like that you can put on the ceiling, on the wall, on the floor. You also have a huge arsenal of different types of weapons that you would normally see in other games like PUBG or whatever. And it's almost like a completely solo game, but there's a little bit of team based. So you have 4 people or your max. You play online, you're defending your base from the storm, which is what they call the storm that comes at night when the husks come in, or the zombies. Basically, you're trying to defend them. Do you still have a clip for it that we're going to play?
Yeah, I got the trailer up right now. I'm going to play it real quick. You guys down? All right.
Yeah.
If you're out there, we need your help. The storm came. The monsters followed. They took everything. Our towns, our families. The few of us left are in serious danger. Now, it's time to fight back. All we need is a leader. And that's you. Sure, it'll be dangerous. I mean, yeah, there's monsters. A lot of monsters. But we've got massive forts. Killer traps. And piles of loot. If we stick together, they don't stand a chance. This is our world, and it's time to take it back. The world of Fortnite is filled with places to explore and loot to scavenge. Collect building and crafting materials while traveling across landscapes where no two are ever the same.
You got the long trailer.
You never know what you'll
probably
find.
cut it off right here.
Or where you'll find it.
Probably cut off right there. But I mean, that pretty much sums it. It looks actually pretty fun. Really fun.
Yeah. And that trailer is completely based on the original game that was put out completed, which was just that version. But now they've added a new game type called Battle Royale, which is it's the exact same rules of PUBG, but just a little bit different. So basically, you start out with 100 players. You're trying to be the last person alive. You're scavenging for weapons, for materials. But within the game, you can still destroy buildings, destroy walls, and you can build buildings build a fort to protect yourself if you're one of the last people standing, which I've seen a lot of people seem to build like a 4-wall fort and throw some stairs in the middle so they can peek with their snipers to take out the last couple of people. And you don't have to worry about zombies in this game mode. It's really fun. It's like relearning PUBG, and the graphics make it look kind of kiddie, but it's really just like almost like a comic book flash of color kind of style. It's really fun. It's a great game. They have a ton that they need to improve on, but it's the first beta build that's everybody's playing right now. You got teamers and solo because there's no team mode yet, but it's really fun. I enjoyed watching you stream it. I enjoy playing it a lot. My last 2 streams on Friday and Saturday were Fortnite. But you know, it was great. It really was. Or it really is. So I encourage everybody to give it a shot.
Yeah, and the cool thing, I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but I was actually playing this the other night with Blackiechan was talking about. There is a bot that comes in streams and drops keys for the whole game.
That was amazing. That was really cool.
Like, I mean, you got to give it up for the developers. They're literally giving their game away for free. I mean, they're giving back to the Twitch community. They didn't ask them in return. They didn't say, give us a review. I mean, they came in my chat, and I'm pretty sure they come to other people's chat, and they dropped 3 codes. 3 people got the game for free. I mean, that is amazing as a dev to be like, we're going to give out free games because we want you guys to like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought that was cool. And I've personally never seen that. I don't know if anybody else has ever seen that before, but I thought that was really cool, and I'd never seen a dev do that.
But they'll even come. Was Overwatch playing that? I had a bunch of characters from Overwatch come in my stream, but none of them have been confirmed if that was Blizzard or not. That was just really weird. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they even during the beta, the first like week, every once in a while at night, the devs would actually come in the chat and ask people currently playing, what do you think? What improvements do you want to see? And then after they finish asking all their questions, they jump into a match to see how everybody was playing and see how it's functioning right at that time. So that was pretty cool. So they did that for a couple of nights the first week it was out.
Yeah. I think that kind of shows that companies, small companies, big companies alike, are realizing that the way to reach the consumer is changing. I mean, you got content creators that are literally, I mean, it is what it is. We're free promotion, whether you pay us or not. You know what I mean? And they realize that we are an entity to obviously to use, as bad as it sounds, to get their game out there. And I like that, like, I mean, Player Unknown is a prime example. This game is a prime example that they actually communicate with streamers, whether you're big or small, and they say, what do you think about a game? How do you like it? How can we make it better? And they show that they actually care. And it's easy to like a game more, should I say, if you know that the people behind it that are making the game actually care about you making their content.
Absolutely.
You know? And actually communicate with you. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've definitely noticed a lot more companies doing that, and I mean, I hope to see that grow. I definitely hope to see that grow.
Agree. I love.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So one game mode that just recently came out. What did it come out a couple days ago, Blackiechan? It is the game we're talking about. Fortnite came out with a battle royale game mode, correct?
Yeah, that came out. It was probably just a little over. Actually, it might not even have been over a week ago. I think it was somewhere around a week back that this the game mode dropped. And as I was saying, it's kind of like PUBG. You go in with 100 people, you want to be the last one alive. And I've seen a lot of people streaming it. It's still, and even though it looks like a lighthearted game, it's still not easy to get a win. Yeah. It's still not easy to come out in first place. I think one of the people who has the most wins that streams has somewhere around 20 something wins since it came out, and he's been playing it since then. And Fortnite tweeted them out, and the dude has some skills.
Yeah, I've been watching some streams and I'm like, good Lord Jesus, you know? And a lot of these people that play this game play Pug, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of them play Pug. All right.
Did the control scheme mess with you guys at all? Because it was really hard figuring that out for me. just coming.
The inventory system I didn't like. I'm not gonna lie. The inventory, I was real confused. Like, what was the items on the top and my backpack on the bottom?
Why did you trade my rocket launcher for a bandage? Why did we do that?
Yeah,
exactly.
I remember there were times where I'm literally running back and forth, like, oh, I don't want to drop that. Oh, I gotta pick that up. Or it was that is maybe they could improve that, or maybe we just need to get used to it. You know what I mean? But altogether, the game was good. All right, I'm gonna roll it
smooth though.
It felt real smooth. It felt real smooth.
Yeah, I think the layout's a little bit easier to control. Because I like interacting with E stuff instead of F. I usually swap those when I play pub anyway. But I do like it. I mean, there's some little quirks that you have to kind of learn fresh on this particular game, and I think that's kind of a good thing because people who play PUBG can't just come over and dominate immediately. So they changed like the drop-in system. They changed the drop-in system from the sky. They changed the gun power scheme and everything. Like it's really cool. I really think they put some thought into making it different enough with being able to make forts to defend yourself and things like that too.
And I haven't even seen that part yet. That's gonna be cool to get into.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna roll a real quick clip of the new game mode if people are wondering how it looks. All right.
All right.
The Fortnite team has been hard at work on a special project we are excited to reveal.
At Epic, we're huge fans of the Battle Royale genre and games like PUBG and H1Z1, and we thought that Fortnite was the perfect world to build one in. Fortnite Battle Royale is the new 100-person PvP mode coming to early access players on September 26th for PS4, Xbox One, Mac, and PC. So we thought if we took Fortnite's dynamic, destructible world and its unique building mechanics and then combine that with what's best about the Battle Royale genre, that we could create something that was amazing. Fortnite Battle Royale is the 100-player, last man standing PvP experience you know so well, but combined with the limitless world of Fortnite. Everyone starts in the battle bus with a glider and a pickaxe. But from there, how you win, it's up to you. There's tons of weapons, traps to take out unsuspecting opponents, and a huge map to build whatever you can imagine. We've had such a blast playing this mode internally, and we can't wait to get you in the game. Starting right now, all Fortnite players can get into the Battle Royale public test and start playing. The battle is building. We'll see you in game.
That looks good. That looks good. And I've had the pleasure of playing it. I mean, Rofcast, have you got a chance to play Fortnite at all?
No, I've never played it. I have some friends who've been talking it up.
Okay. Well, if I happen to get a code, I'll give it to you. I got you, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
all right. So
I had a little bit of interest, and then that video just kind of sold me. That was pretty
I mean, it looks fun.
It's so much fun. It's really fun. I think you'll enjoy it.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, I know I've had the pleasure of playing that game mode. This is actually the only game mode I played, the PvP. I never got a chance to play PvE. I got it the other day. Did you ever get to play it, King?
Nope, I did not.
Okay. All right. So, me and Blackiechan. All right. So, I mean, my thoughts about it is they did change some stuff about it. Obviously, you know, you do skydive in. I know that's a very prominent thing in a lot of VR games is you skydive in no matter what, you know. It's a given. It's cool. That really didn't bother me. I like the art style. It's really not my cup of tea. I don't normally play games that look like this, but it's still a lot of fun. It's fast paced. It catches your eye, and I got to give it to them. They made a great VR mode. And the cool thing that kind of really got to me, I never really used the in-game function, is you could actually build a fort. You could actually build like this guy right here. You could actually build in the game mode. So say you don't have cover.
I would like to see that for sure.
Yeah. Say like you're behind a tree and someone's trying to snipe you in the face. Build a wall, you know, build some cover, build a fort, you know. So I like that a lot. I like that they added that in there. That's really, really unique. And that I think that's what stands apart from Pug, you know.
I wonder if it'd be easier to go back and play the original, like the PvE part to learn all those mechanics and then move on to the
Oh
Battle
yeah,
Royale.
I definitely think it's a
Because me
must.
jumping into Battle Royale first thing, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing besides left click and shoot.
That's what
Yeah.
I recommend for Destiny. I mean, it's not Battle Royale, but still PvE before you learn how to go.
Exactly.
You already know
I
that.
feel
Yeah.
like it does have some, it does kind of tap back to Destiny a little bit, because Destiny, I mean, you go into competitive PvP in Destiny, and they did a great job with competitive PvP on Destiny 2. I play it on Xbox One. I wish my computer ran well enough to play it on PC, but they did. It's kind of the same. It's almost the same feeling where in Destiny, whatever games you get in the standalone game part are the games you carry over, or I'm sorry, weapons and armor that you carry over into multiplayer. But not, it doesn't work so much that way with Fortnite. It's almost its own standalone game, separate. The only thing you really will learn differently is why you have different colored guns, and which materials are best to build with to keep them from being destroyed by either gunfire or someone's pickaxe.
Gotcha.
So. Yeah. So to branch off that, do you think that this is one of those kind of like flavors of the week? I mean, we've all seen games out there on Twitch, flavors of the week kind of comes in. People kind of play it when it, really, really hyped about it. Everybody's playing it, and then it kind of just dies down. They go right back to PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds or Island of Nine or another battle royale game out there. How do you think this stacks up against its, its opponents, which is mainly Pug right now, right?
Yeah, it's really pub, and I actually think it can stand on its own a little bit. The game's really, really tightly based around having a crew. So a team of 4 players to defend against husks, and if you're by yourself and you're fighting off the storm, it's really hard to keep the storm at bay by yourself. And people can do public matches and come help you defend your base in the world that you've created. And they're actually adding a team mode, which I think is going to get all of their PvE people over into the Battle Royale part. But there's already people who are going into solo, and regardless of the fact that they're going to get banned after the game, they're teaming with the other guys who are playing.
I've seen it. I've seen it plenty of times. Yeah,
it's gonna get even. I think it's gonna get better with.
No, there's no Husks in VR. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're pretty much just playing player v player, and I think that's really cool. I think that's what sets them apart from Pug, and honestly, I think they stand a chance because you got 2 things. Pug only has PvP. I mean, this game has PvE and PvP, and on top of it, I mean, can you imagine running a squad in BR, like me, all of us playing, and then we're like, all right, we know where the circle's coming, we know where the wall's going to collapse. Let's build a fort right here and hold it down. That is really cool in my book. That is really cool.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to implement squads in that. That's going to be very cool. I would definitely try that out.
I think another big thing is going to be a lot of people have just always had a preference in style. You've got your people who enjoy the realism or the more realistic looks of things that pretty much started with Call of Duty, and then Arma 2 and 3, the more realistic military look. And then you've got people that totally don't mind the other look or love it even more. A really good example of that would be the Team Fortress crowd. I mean, this art is right up their alley.
Like people playing Overwatch, same thing. I have tons of people in my chat come in and go, "Oh, why are you playing this Disney game?" Dude.
Yeah, it's crazy how people think like I was watching somebody and they were talking about this. I was literally talking to but they were pretty much talking about how people see this art style and they're like, this is a kid's game.
Yep.
This is a kid's game. TF2, this is kids.
You just blew up somebody with a rocket launcher. Clearly not a kid's game.
I mean, you just headshotted that person. They dropped all their loot on the ground. This is not a kid's game,
I mean, you go in when you're queued up for a game, the chat is literally PUBG versus Fortnite, regardless of the fact that everybody playing the game chose to load this game up and play.
Yep, there you go.
And you could say it's a kid's game and that it's just like Disney and nobody really cares. And then you get in that game and somebody sneaks up behind you and you're in like top 10 and you get a shotgun in the back and die and you rush into the next match because you're like heated and you're like, I'm taking this win on the next one. I mean, it pulls you in, and like yesterday I was streaming it and I like just about jumped out of my seat and I turned and I got shot first and I turned around and I still won that gunfight. And so from that point on, I was like, this is what I'm doing the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Chasing that feeling.
Oh yeah, and I think that's the formula of BR games. It makes you like pug like this game. You lose and you're right back in there because it's literally there's no wait time. You jump back in there. It's just over and over because you want that win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you get that win, you're gonna play that game that much longer. You know, I got another one. I got my first solo win with 6 kills the other day, and I'm hooked on pug now. You know?
Yeah.
It's a fun game. And I think what really hooks people is the whole I'm versing another player. I'm over here trying to outdo somebody else. And I bested them. That's what I mean, it draws people to BR.
Regardless of what your games looks like, if you can make it rewarding to win, then you got a winner. People are going to chase that.
Yeah. And it kind of branched off that. Do you guys feel like BR games are kind of taking over now? Because I mean, it used to be survival games, DayZ, Armored 3, DayZ mods. I mean, 7 Days to Die. Those survival games were the cream of the crop. They were the top of the top. Those are games that were taking over the market. Now it's BR. You know, I mean,
they've been overshadowed by BR.
Yeah.
H1Z1 is the perfect example of that. They released a survival game that failed on a massive scale.
Yep.
And even though it was toxic as hell, their BR absolutely crushed it.
Oh yeah.
And they were the only BR for the longest time.
So nobody had any other options.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah.
As soon as I had a chance to switch over, I went for it. Man,
I feel so sorry for H1Z1, and I feel so sorry for all the people, the deniers. No. H1Z1's gonna win. No. Pug's whack. But they're sitting here playing Pug too.
There's still a lot of people playing H1Z1.
Oh yeah. It's not dead. It's not dead, but you know, there's always gonna be games that take over the limelight. Like I mean, Pug's maybe, who knows, a year, 2 years down the road, but Pug's not gonna stay number one forever. You know?
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's just that what the season is, because you know RP was the most hardcore thing everybody was doing with the new GTA stuff.
Yeah, and
that's kind of fallen off a little bit. People are playing PUBG a little bit more, and it's just, I mean, like you said, 3 or 4 different things take over every year, and you know the big streamers switch to it, and so the whole community kind of switches to that, and then if everybody still enjoys it, it stays there or just goes on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd be surprised if you see a battle royale in Tarkov after it's completed and they've got an open world map.
Yes.
They know they can handle the stress. Don't be surprised to see it. It'll be
I'm down.
That's gonna be so.
I already thought it was a BR game.
It feels like a BR
I mean, it kind of is.
It kind of is.
Your stuff, BR against robots.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm totally down. And it is, as of right now, Escape from Tarkov is kind of BR. You're hopping into an instance, playing other players. You die, you lose all your gear. So it is kind of a. It's not so much a last man standing. It's pretty much get in, get out. You know, it's not so much.
If you've got a squad that's got your gear, you could go back in, get re-geared, and start playing the same game, right? Or
you can't jump into the same.
No, you can't jump into the same game
unless you scav and you roll the dice. You might get put back into the same game. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
They just now implemented when you squad up with somebody, you spawn in together, which scares the crap out of you when your buddy jumps in front of you out of nowhere. But I love the game. So good.
Yeah, I saw the patch notes. I cannot wait to squad up because it is so annoying. Like, all right, where are you? And you spend like 30 minutes trying to find each other, and then you end up shooting your teammates accidentally.
Who does that?
That was my main problem with the standalone. It was impossible to play with a group unless you never died.
It was like they didn't want you to play together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, BR and EFT, you take my soul. I would love that, you know.
That's gonna be awesome. I hope they open up for a survival mode where you can play all of the map. Because it's just little places.
Yeah.
Which are,
that's what they're working on.
That's what they're
an open world. Sick. That's once it's done, all the maps that you instance on are going to be in one open world.
How's that gonna work though? By the time they do that, I think they need quests. Because I'm not gonna roam around
today.
Well, it's more the quests are more like go grab 5 shotguns and bring them back to me. They're like the seller quests. They're not like
you thinking more like
story driven
kind of quests.
More like story driven quests, you know. I don't know. This is me. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure if they have an open world, they're gonna make it a little bit more. I don't want to say user friendly because the whole point of that game is to make it hard. They're trying to make it hardcore survival. But I think that that's one, or I should say, another developer that's definitely listening. Anytime that we say, "Oh, we really want this," like, all right, let's try
Battle State.
Figure out. Yeah,
I see him in Cotton stream all the time talking to people.
Same thing. Yeah.
That's
so cool.
Yeah, he is. They are definitely doing a great job.
I like
Okay.
it, man. I'm excited.
All right. Well, the next game we're gonna talk about is Hellblade. Is a really, really cool. It's a very, I would say it's a very unique game. So this game is made by, just up, is made by where are they? Where I just literally saw them.
Is it Ninja Theory?
Ninja Theory, there it
Yes.
is. Yeah, I literally had the way. It's made by Ninja Theory. I actually haven't heard of this company before. Have they made any other games you guys know of?
I've never heard of them.
I've heard of them, but I don't know what else they've made. It sounds really familiar.
Is it because you like ninjas? Is that what it
It
is?
probably is. I probably know somebody named.
From the makers of Heavenly Sword in the Odyssey
Yeah.
to the West. Why don't I just look? Devil May Cry.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's why.
That's yeah.
Well, the
Devil May
new
Cry.
Devil May Cry, not like the older ones.
The new, yeah, I know
The
what you're talking
one
about.
they
The new
just
one.
came out
Yeah.
The other one that you just keep pressing the same
the
button.
one from 2013 was the most recent one, I think.
I played
that they did.
Heavenly Sword. That was like Lady God of War. Oh, God of
Wasn't
War.
that a PS4 like release game?
P-
Am I remembering that
PS3.
right?
Yeah, there was a
PS3
PS3
like
and
pretty
PS4,
new.
Xbox One. The PS3, Xbox 360 one was in
That was a
2013.
really pretty game.
Yeah.
It's what
Yeah.
got me to want to try God of War.
Yeah. Oh, God of War is amazing.
Still
But-
haven't played that.
But yeah, so this game right here, and we're gonna branch off to another really cool subject I want to talk about. This game right here kind of ties reality into fantasy. It touches on some really cool things I thought that needed to be brought to light, and you see it a lot on, on Twitch. You see it a lot talked about on Twitter, on Instagram. Mental health. You know, the main character has psychosis. She's delusional. There's a lot of questions at the end, but it does touch on mental health, mental health, you know. So we're gonna play a trailer real quick and you guys check it out. I played this game. I would definitely give this game a 9 out of 10. I mean, the audio is amazing. The visuals, the graphics are amazing. And the really cool thing they do with this game is they don't have a HUD. So it's not like you're kind of like in a HUD, you know, like in your traditional, like I say Assassin's Creed or even Devil May Cry, you kind of have like arrows to kind of point where they're gonna attack and hit you from. And this game, they use the audio in such a way that it actually hints like, oh, watch out, or check out behind you, or don't let them surround you. Things like that. I've never seen that done.
Immersive.
And it makes it that much more immersive because you don't got this HUD everywhere. You don't have your life everywhere. You don't have, you know, these little pointers or these little blinking lights of where they're coming from. And it makes it that much better. This is actually the first. Oh, go.
Oh, is it like the voices in her head? Like telling her?
Yeah. And that's what it
that's
is.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's
It's like
pretty
she constantly has voices talking to her.
It's also really
You know?
disturbing.
And
That's
when I
crazy.
supposed to be one of them.
Yeah, and when I first started playing, it threw me off because I'm like, these voices are like kind of disturbing, you know?
Is my headset broken?
Oh, you know, but it honestly, I'm not even getting like, I'm not even sponsored. They're not even telling me to say this, but this is honestly one of the best campaign story-driven games I've played this year. And if you like these type of games, I would definitely say play this. All right, so we're gonna roll the trailer real quick. Warning, and it looks a little dark, like a little creepy, but.
In this waking nightmare, where all dreams come true, you searched for control, a way to pull through. When you were in love, you left him in tears, to smother your furies and banish your fears. But in darkness they came. Through stormy black seas, they raided these shores. Do you still hear his screams? And now that you're home, he's so far away. They've taken his soul. To these gods you cannot pray. They can break you, but not your promise. Even death won't keep you apart. Through his darkness you will find him. In your sword still beats a heart. You fought for love unspoiled by your darkness within. fought for your dreams.
Ooh,
Now there's no way to
It's
live.
good.
this
This
is
is
creepy.
yeah. I mean, if this hasn't hooked you and made you want to play the game, I don't know what will. This game was a masterpiece.
So we must carry his vessel to bring him back home.
That's that thing that looks crazy.
It's deep. It's
Like
deep.
like the story, the voice, like the wondering what she's doing with
Mhm.
that thing that you think is a rock, and I'm guessing it's someone's head.
It's someone's head. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna
Here's
throw.
what I recommend. I mean, you can understand a lot from this from trailers, or you can tune into a random stream at a random point. But if you're the kind of person who likes to maybe watch the first episode or two of something in an LP format, this is one I highly recommend because it actually kind of gives you a great idea of what this character is going through
Mhm.
and what her mission is. And I mean, I've watched the first episode of LPs. I've watched like 2 or 3 of them, and it really does a great job of kind of capturing the path that she's about to be on. And
Oh yeah.
sharing it.
Oh yeah.
Is
And
this a
I mean,
PlayStation exclusive?
no,
No,
this
it's-
is on
no.
PC.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, this is on
I
PC.
can't play it.
No, I think it. Wait, yeah, it's on. I think it's only on PC. I'm not sure. I'll definitely check. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this game, I mean, the music was on point. To me, it really didn't feel like anything was out of place. I remember watching whether it be, I think it was like IGN or some YouTube account somebody was talking about, and they said it was a visual and audio nightmare, meaning like it was just too much going on. I felt like it was just enough. I feel like they conveyed the message of you felt how she felt. You felt bombarded by the audio, the visual. You felt like they pretty much teleported you
Yeah.
into her mind with the voices, you know? Yeah, at the beginning they were kind of like, oh, what is this? What is this? Kind of bothersome. But it immersed you in the world of this how she feels. You know, this is what she hears. And I mean,
I mean,
taking
look
it
at
around
this.
pretty
Look at
good.
this fight happening right now.
Mhm.
Like, how uncomfortable would you be in that fight against somebody like 3
Right?
times your size?
and the
You
thing
feel
is,
extremely uncomfortable.
and the thing is they convey that because these enemies are, I mean, they hit you hard. And it's, from what I know, it's kind of random. You don't have hit points. You're not just like, oh, I have a health bar, I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they don't explain about it. But as you see right now, she can slow down time and get some hits in and stuff like that. You'll see like every single time she hits them, there's a little on her belt on the right. It kind of lights up, little symbol. And when the gauge reaches full, she can slow down time and get some extra hits and stuff like that.
Nice.
She can also, I guess I wouldn't say resurrect herself. She can get back up. But I mean, the game was definitely awesome. You know,
From my understanding, these creepy looking bosses, now they're not actually like big ghosts or spirits or monsters or anything. They're just people who are dressed in kind of a different way, and she's just portraying them as a nightmare.
Ah.
and that's the thing. At the end of the game, I was like, was this? I mean, even my chat, we're all like, was this real? Did she really go do this fight to, you know, let go her lover, to just realize I can let go, or was this in her head? You know.
Mhm.
And I don't know if anybody's ever like found out, hey, this is literally how it goes. But I mean, leaving a game open, just like a lot of movies do, to interpretation is amazing.
Yeah.
Because you could translate into so many messages. And I think this is awesome that it left it open at the end, the meaning for the fact that mental health is a very real thing in this world. And a lot of people like to swipe it under the rug and act like it's not real. And they like to talk about it in the gaming industry, but it's out there and a lot of people suffer from it. And I pay them homage. I'm honored. I pay them huge respect that they actually touched that. And they made a game surrounding on that. They didn't just touch it. They made a game surrounded on that, you know? So, I mean, that kind of ties to what I wanted to say is, do you think it's good that games are touching on, I guess, real life parallels like mental health, racism, discrimination? I mean, you got Life is Strange 2 that just came out. The Wolf Among Us. You got plenty of Telltale games, the games out there that do draw parallels to the real world and touch on real world issues and kind of teach you lessons. You know, do you think games should do that? Or do you think games should just stay in their own realm? Games should be games. You know, we play to get away from reality. That's how they should stay.
I think there's room for everything. Because if you just put it in a box, then you only have mental health games or, you know, whatever.
Mhm.
Me personally, I play games to separate from reality and have some fun. Don't get me wrong, games like this are neat. Yeah, like he's showing Splatoon, exactly. I mean,
Mhm.
that is there's nothing, as far as I know, there's nothing like based in reality of that game. You know, it's just super fun to waste a bunch of time and have fun with your friends. You know, but I think there's also a point where you want to bring emotion into games as well. Like one of my favorite games of all time, The Last of Us. I mean, like I can't say there's definitely like different things I learned about, you know, people dealing with issues, but like, man, that game was just incredible and brought me into its world and was super fun to play. But I think there's room for all types of
Oh yeah, there's definitely room for all
Fascinating
types.
side to that game, you know.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of room for creative expression, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people try to get away from. Usually, what you hear from people about why they play video games is they want an escape from real life. But if there's not a parallel or something you can relate to, then you just won't connect
Mm-hmm.
as much.
Very true. Very true. And with the connection, I mean, that's what. Because if I would just play this game and it didn't convey its messages, I kind of would have been just like, it was an okay game. But just the way they conveyed their messages to the T with the audio and visual, and they explained through what went on with her mentally, you have that personal connection. You know, you have that emotional. If a game or a movie, and movies do it a lot, the movies are all about them conveying a way to make you emotionally connected to the movie. You know, and games, what I've noticed, are starting to do the same thing. You know,
Yeah.
because I mean,
Yeah, they are.
yeah, if you're connected emotionally, I mean, it's an A+. You know.
I think that's also something where like just the season of gaming is starting to change a little bit, and right now there's a lot of story driven stuff coming out, and then I'm sure at a certain point it'll be a whole bunch of, you know, more battle royale stuff or more survival, and it's just it's neat to watch that, and you can enjoy every bit of it, you know.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. And one thing I don't know if you guys noticed, if you look on her right arm, she has it's kind of hard to see. She kind of has a like I want to say a mold, like a virus crawling up her arm. And every single time you go down, it grows further and further and further up her arm. When it reaches her neck and her brain, you lose all your progress. So you could get halfway through the game, and then you got to start from the beginning.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Because and that's
I was
one
gonna
thing.
say it seems like Dark Souls for a second. It definitely seems.
Yeah,
like Dark
yeah,
Souls.
yeah. You could
forget
literally. It
that.
didn't.
Oh,
It luckily
hate
didn't
this.
happen to me because I played it on the normal because I'm a G like that. But
Gosh.
yeah, if the virus gets, and with me, it actually got up to her elbow, I think, or her shoulder. But if it gets all into her brain, it could literally, you just lose all your progress. That's what I've been hearing. That's what the developer said, and I think that's really cool. They add that element of you're afraid, you don't want to get hit. You know, you're not just kind of like, I'm just gonna start from the save point. I'm just gonna troll. You know, so I think they did this game perfectly, and I'm looking forward to this company putting out more games for sure.
That's cool.
That's a quick save.
Yeah, quick save. Yeah.
And I will say I did see this game is on PC and PlayStation only.
There you go. There you go. And I would say, guys, if you can, let me see how much this game right as of right now is $29.99 all across the board. $29.99, guys. I mean, $30 game.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. For I think it's like, I would say on average of 6 hours to complete the game.
I'm starting to see a lot more games starting to have like low price points.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's because of the whole digital download option now, and it's just saving like them a lot of money, or if they're seeing that people have value. Because I mean, even right now, I think the only version of Fortnite there is the Founders Edition,
Yeah.
and it's like discounted to $29.99 until tomorrow, I think, or something like that. And then like that new game Lawbreakers came out at $29.99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot
I
of
think
games.
they're all starting to feel the early access push from PC to make games cheaper.
Yeah,
It's like,
How many times have you played a AAA title, beaten it in 10 hours, and be like, or less, and be like, that was like really good. And was it $60 good?
yeah. I mean, like Call of Duty. I mean, even Destiny. I mean, the campaigns, it's real light. But that's not really what you're paying for. And it's different when you know what you're getting over like, did I just buy this game and beat it in 3 hours? Oops.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's so hard for me to
Destiny,
spend
you know it's
$60 on a game that's not going to have replayability, like some kind of battle royale or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's for me personally. But I can't just like jump into this game for the next several years. I'm like, $60.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. Price points are a huge thing, especially for me. I think anybody who pays bills. I mean, you know, you're not gonna be like, oh, this game's $60. I'm gonna go grab that. I do this. I'm sitting there, I'm like, do I want to buy this game? Am I gonna like it? How long am I really gonna play it? You know? So I would definitely agree. And they are lowering their prices, like Blackiechan said. And I mean, it's honestly a price point battle, you know? I mean, you get a $60 game, I don't think twice before I buy that. But if I see a $15, $20 game and I like it, I'm buying that before I buy the $60 game. Hands down, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know?
You're like, I saw the trailer. I really liked the way it looked. It made me think I would like it. I spent $20. I'm not mad at the developer if I put it down after a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's plenty of games I've seen that were $5.99. I was like, ah, and then it went on sale for 99 cents. Score.
Yep.
Cheap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I. Oh man. And who knows, man? Who knows what the future holds for gaming? Will prices continuously drop? You know, and I mean, because every game's early access now. You know.
I sure hope so, because there was that point where, like, I think it was Halo 3 or one of those games very close that had the $150 Legendary Edition, and everybody's like, no way. And I straight up bought it, and I know tons and tons of my friends were like, oh, a Halo helmet you can't wear? Oh, hell yeah, I want a copy of that.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that in my
From then
room.
on, every game was, $59.99.
Yeah.
Crap. Why did I buy into this? I'm part of the problem, clearly.
Yeah.
That was the beta
Well,
test.
Yeah. The reason games do that because they know they can. Like Battlefield 1, I think they had there were a couple games like $120. Like EFT, Escape from Tarkov, when it was in early access, it was like
I bought it.
$120. Like
Dude, look at that game. Look how pretty it is.
yeah. Give me the money. Put the money in the back. But the thing is, honestly, if I had the money, I would have definitely bought the 120 because I mean, when I see games like that, we've all suffered from it. The Division, we all know it. They show us a game.
I'm gonna
you
flip
look at the
my
game.
desk if we bring up the Division.
Oh,
again.
I'm sorry.
I swear.
They show
I
you
got it for $10. I was so happy.
But they show
I
you a
waited
game.
so long to buy that game because I kept hearing that same thing.
Yeah. But they show you the game. They show you the playthrough. It looks amazing. The game, you're like, this is unreal. They give you the game. You're like, what the hell is this? But
it is definitely unreal, is what that game is. Yes.
But EFT delivered. Escape from Tarkov, the graphics you see in the playthroughs delivered. I was shocked when I played the game. I was like, whoa, the lighting is amazing. Particles floating around amazing. They delivered. So I think there's some games out there that can justify that price point, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They can do it.
There are.
All right.
It's
so
definitely rough.
Oh yeah, it's rough. So we're gonna roll on over to the one and only. Okay, quick. Let me step back. What do you guys think about games? You can make payment plans on games. You know what I mean? Like a small $5.99 monthly payment, and you get to own Battlefield 1.
If you pay $5.99 until you've paid it off, and then you don't have to pay anymore, okay. But things like SEO, or is it SEO? ESO? I don't remember. What was that game? The new Skyrim or whatever. Elder Scrolls Online. ESO, yes. They had like a subscription service for that one. And it was, to me, I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was too much money. But like, I just don't want games to get to the point where they're like Clash of Clans or whatever, where you're paying almost nothing for the game, but to continue to play, you're having to do like microtransactions.
I never put a
if you want to get past a certain point. Like, I just don't want console and PC games to get to the point where they're doing that, because that's just ridiculous.
They can just stay away really from pay to win. Like, it's so rough when games go that way.
Yeah, I mean, Warframe is a prime example. I mean, that game is free to play to this day. That rhymed right there. But at the same time, it's like there are microtransactions, and that game has grown so much. If only games would take notes and be like, we can actually release a game on a free to play platform and still be successful. You know, it's possible.
There's nothing pay to win about Warframe, I assume, right? I know so many people who play it.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy like Prime, you can buy like Primes, and you can buy Warframes and weapons, but I wouldn't think it's because it's PvE. It's base PvE. There are PvP aspects, but you know what I mean? I wouldn't consider it pay to win. All right, so we're gonna move on to a game we all have played, Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm pretty sure every one of us has played that game. I remember sitting down when I got my first Sega Genesis and smashed on those A, B's, and C's. But we're gonna talk about, and my boy King's gonna take it away. We're gonna talk about Sonic Mania, the 25th anniversary debut.
So basically, Sega got together with a few other people that liked Sonic and created a new game for their 25th anniversary. And it didn't like come out officially on the 25th anniversary, but it was kind of a celebration of the 25th anniversary. And I heard about it coming out and I was like, cool. I loved Sonic. I mean, like Glitch said, I mean, everybody of our age and generation has played some iteration of Sonic. I've played Sonic 1, 2, 3 all the way up to the 3D stuff. I mean, I'm even considering getting a Sonic tattoo. We're not going to go down that road, but I love Sonic to
Sonic
death.
tramp stamp, you know.
Yeah,
Knuckles.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Rings on my lower back, you know. But it's funny. It's funny that Roth brought up Donkey because, again, like I said, I heard about this game, Sonic Mania, coming out, and then I watched the trailer of Donkey playing it, and I was like, man, I got to try this out because he said it really brings you back to the original feeling of what Sonic was, and it's all 2D except for when you go for the Chaos Emeralds. If you're familiar with that, the whole premise of the game is Dr. Robotnik comes down and steals all the Chaos Emeralds and disrupts the whole world, so you got to get them all back. But long story short, they've kept it all 2D except for when you go to find the Chaos Emeralds, and I was in a really bad mood when I played it for the first time, and in 10 minutes, I was grinning ear to ear. Like, this is bringing me back so hardcore to the good old days of playing Sonic the Hedgehog. It is so, so good, and I want to say it's on sale right now as well. I can't remember the price of it, but it is definitely worth playing. If you liked Sonic at all, jump into it. And they've reimagined a whole bunch of the old maps and added stuff, and then they made a whole bunch of new maps. It's so good. I just can't say enough good things about it, but Glitch, if you'll roll that trailer of it, I mean,
all right, let's do it.
So much fun. I might play this after we're done with the podcast. Getting chills watching this. I don't know if I have a problem or what. I love Sonic.
Nobody's judging you.
So good.
That's awesome. I like how it's like side scrolling.
And they kept it to the original 2D stuff. Man. It's so cool. Oh, and I forgot to say, you can play as Sonic, Tails, and I just always had so much more fun playing Sonic than I did Mario or any of those. I still enjoyed Mario, but there's something about Sonic that was just so much fun.
I think that just gives you this like nostalgic, just like good feeling, you know?
Yeah. Like I said, I was in a terrible mood, and 10 minutes in, I was just,
I get like a flashback of like playing, sitting on the floor, and then like one of your siblings comes by and accidentally kicks the console, and you got to start all the way over.
And I legitimately had a dream on how to beat a level one time. Like, I remember being little and being like, I can't figure out how to get over this thing, and woke up the next day and I had dreamed how to beat it, and that was how I did it.
Very nice.
It's crazy.
Gotta have that epiphany. You gotta have those moments.
Epiphany.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know, man. It's so good. And definitely watch Donkey's video about it, because it's really hilarious, and also like made me want to play it for sure.
I'll probably check out quite a few of those.
Yeah. Question about that. Do you think some games out there, they should just let them lie? Like when they're Like some games make like 1, 2, and 3. You know what I mean? Should they just be like, all right, well, we made number 1, we made number 2. Let's just let sleeping dogs lie, or should we like resurrect it from the grave, make an anniversary like this one? You know, will it be accepted? And I mean, the gaming climate always changes. You know,
Yeah.
it always changes. You know, and I'm pretty sure they probably thought about it before they released it. You know, is that nostalgia still there? Is that child and everybody still there who likes Sonic? You know, and I mean, the younger generation. Do they even know what Sonic is? You know,
they do because stuff like this gets released.
Well,
yeah,
which I was gonna mention. I feel like, you know, some games get released constantly, like Mario and Sonic are a good example, but there are so many, and sometimes it's just like, all right, we get it, but then, I mean, I'm about to have my first daughter, but I mean, I just think about all the people in my generation who've already had kids that have got to share Mario and Sonic with them. And they wouldn't have been as drawn to something from when we were kids. Like if you're going to put it in the Nintendo or something a little bit more advanced, they wouldn't have been as drawn to that as if it was something that just came out and might actually be relevant to them and maybe some other kids at school.
Yeah.
I saw an article not that long ago of a guy who's forcing his kid to beat all the classics until he's allowed to move on to the next console. And I feel like there's a bit of child abuse, but also a bit of genius for that.
Just a little bit, yeah. It gives him appreciation.
So cool.
His character, son.
You must beat Mario. Good luck. You're not allowed to go outside.
Ever. Yeah, this will put hair in your chest.
Yeah,
yeah.
for real.
I mean, there's a few of those games where like, well, there's a few times like in my life, I thought after like our generation of games while we were kids, like, what happened to the simple logical thinking to solve a puzzle? Like, I mean, even looking at like Call of Duty, like zombies or what, you have to do like 50 steps to upgrade your gun one time, as opposed to like just figuring out something logical just to get it. But I guess it's just that natural progression.
Yeah, things harder. You can go on YouTube and find the answer. Though I think that's the problem.
Yeah, I think that really is.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying the fact that they are taking a step back to go back to World War II, which
that'll be interesting.
Amazing.
Oh, really
yeah. Who's taking it back? Is it Treyarch or is it Infinity Ward?
This one's Sledgehammer, and they did a crazy good game.
Would you guys like
beta was amazing.
Did you play the beta?
Oh, yeah. It was crazy good.
I never got a chance. I don't know. I've fallen out of love with Call of Duty and after Battlefield. But I mean, them taking it back looks actually pretty good.
Well, I think that's a good example of what you're talking about with making a few sequels and then letting the sleeping dog lie. Call of Duty is just like, money, make another one of the exact same game, but let's call it money. More lasers and more zombies. I mean, I was done after Black Ops 2, and I haven't touched one since. I mean, a few people have I played betas and stuff, like Black Ops 3 beta when it had the free play weekends and stuff, but it's just, man, the lore is gone for me of those games.
Yeah.
The
kind of
PC beta.
You're not pumped for Call of Madden. Not Call of Madden.
Call of Madden 2K18.
2K18.
You can move the control stick differently.
Yeah, it kind of all just blends together. You know, it's just like, what am I playing? You know, but honestly, this wasn't planned. But I would like to roll a trailer of the multiplayer reveal. Is that cool with you guys?
Sure.
Yeah,
of Call of Duty to show people what we're talking about, and it actually looks pretty entertaining. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Can you put it in our chat?
Beta's at the end of the month for PC.
I can put it in your chat. Give me a second. I'll drop it in you so you guys know. Seconds. But yeah, I was eyeing this game and I'm like, that actually looks pretty interesting. All right, I dropped it in there.
Sweet.
That looks pretty interesting.
I streamed it all weekend. During the weekend, it was beta on Xbox. I really enjoyed it, and I've been waiting for them to go back to that time. It had the feel I was hoping Battlefield 1 would have, but not with all the extra stuff like vehicles.
Yeah.
What happened with me in Call of Duty is this was just a game. This is what got me the military shooter.
Yeah.
And then I played Arma 2 Daisy, and that's when it became all about quality kills.
Yeah, bullet drop. What's this?
Oh, getting that perfect kill from 1,000 meters away. You have the crosshair aimed at like some random train. Just somehow you knew it was gonna hit him in the head.
That's what it is, man. You can play for 4 hours and get one kill and feel good about the night.
Awesome. And I never went back to Call of Duty.
Now they did like an insane amount of research for this game. Most of the places that are levels that you play on actually went to where the place was to model the area after it. They recorded the real weapons and stuff for the audio. I mean, when the M1A1 carbine hits that last cartridge, or hits that the last bullet, and you hear that ching, it's so clean and crisp, like you're like standing next to it. I think they did a really good job. I think if you are even questioning whether or not it might be good, play the beta. It's free. Just do it and see if you like it, because I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's fun.
I miss the good old days of Call of Duty.
Yeah. It's that old. It got to me. It got way too fast paced with the newer versions of Call of Duty. Like, it was literally the only thing you did was run out, die, respawn, run out, die, respawn.
Let's get your UAV.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That is what I like about Battlefield over Call of Duty.
Rally near the tank and protect it.
Yeah. And this one's fun. I mean, they have some cool new game types too that are awesome. And the one called War is my absolute favorite because it consists of like 3 or 4 different game modes in one playthrough without any like cut scenes or rest or whatever. So you switch sides, different missions and stuff during multiplayer.
All right, so I'm gonna replay the trailer. I was playing it. You guys were talking, so I'm gonna replay because some people couldn't hear the music or whatever. Is that cool?
Oh, sorry.
I know you guys are good. You guys were a deep conversation. I'll just replay it one more time.
They were saying they couldn't hear us, not the trailer.
Hard to hear y'all talking, or no? They're saying that it's hard to hear the trailer when you guys talking over it. At least that's how. Do you guys? Oh, whatever. All right, but yeah. So I mean, it honestly, it looked good. It looked good. I personally, I don't know. It's gonna make me buy the game. Is the beta available right now? Could you?
Not yet. I think it's the 26th or something like that. I'll find out real quick and let you know.
I definitely want to play the beta before I spend
Yeah.
$60
Oh, yeah.
on the
Yeah,
game.
I want to play the
Or
beta too.
wait, I'm gonna see what the new one comes out with. The expensive version. Am I gonna get a statue?
Yeah.
September 29th to October 2nd.
All right. So I would say, I don't know if I'm gonna buy that. I don't know if will definitely be into that. I'll definitely check it out if it's free.
Destiny. We'll be getting our FPS fix. Well, I will.
Yeah, you guys just played Destiny. We'll play Call of Duty.
And they're so different though. They're so different. I was playing Destiny 2 and this beta, and it's 2 completely different things. Like,
very true.
You'll be itching to play the other one while you're playing the other one.
Yeah. Oh, Destiny's definitely on my hit list. I cannot wait to play the game. King, are you gonna be getting Destiny 2?
Probably not.
What kind of lies is that?
I know. Like we discussed about the first one. It was like, I just can't grind anymore. Like I think I've gotten too old. And I'm like, oh, I just want to jump in and play the game. Stop making me hatchet down trees for hours.
Well, the thing is, I'm not getting it to grind. It looks good. I'm always into like sci-fi space stuff, but I mean, I'm getting it for the PvP. That's why I'm getting it. You know,
I like things that combine them well, and I think they might achieve that successfully here.
And,
I mean, I haven't played the console, but
yeah. I think let me rephrase the grinding. I enjoyed the first Destiny, but it got to a point where we had finished everything, and then you just start back over on a harder difficulty. That's where it got a little
I can see that happening. To unlock other
weapons. New stuff's coming out in 6 months, and then they put out one raid. It's like, okay, cool.
So now I gotta wait 6 more months for
the PvP stuff was fun, but I enjoyed the Call of Duty style PvP back then.
So is Call of Duty something you're gonna stream, make content on YouTube, or something you're just gonna play on your own time?
For me, that's definitely more of a streamable game. My channel has lately been a lot more of just like, here's a quick, a bunch of 30 kills in PUBG or whatever. But like, I want to get back to my roots of like making actual edited content.
Yeah.
So no, I would say Call of Duty wouldn't be something, unless it was just like voice trolling. But then it just really gets negative and toxic, and
Yeah.
Stay away from that.
Yeah, I gotta stay away from that.
The
Okay.
older I get, the more I try and stay away from that.
The wiser you become. Okay.
Yeah. Family
All right.
friendly.
Family
Can't get
friendly.
people
Yeah.
monetized.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're gonna move. We're gonna move on from gaming, and we're gonna discuss something that I think has been on everybody's mind. Whether you're a content creator or not, whether you've been on Twitter and saw the shitstorm that happens, I want to discuss accountability of content creators, and I think I watch. We're all on Twitter. We're all on Twitch. I've seen some crazy stuff this week from. How do I say this without outing anybody? From people that are fellow content creators going to other people's channels and promoting themselves to get views, whether they're online or offline, on their channel, which is like a big no-no. Just accountability in general. I think the biggest thing that kind of brought this into, I guess, the limelight, and I think everybody knows what I'm talking about, is PewDiePie. You know, some people might not want to talk about it. Some people might view this as a very sensitive subject. You might be a PewDiePie fan yourself. You know, the only thing I ask is to sit back and look from a subjective view. I hope we're all capable of that. You know what I mean? And the whole fiasco, and I don't want to dive into, I guess, the racial part of this. I just want to dive into the overall spectrum. Is he said the N-word live on, was it Twitch? Live on stream.
It was Twitch.
I think it was.
No, I think he does everything YouTube, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think it was YouTube. Actually, you know, it was on YouTube, streaming to YouTube, because afterwards he deleted it to make sure the video didn't go out.
Oh, but it got out. People got it anyway.
Oh yeah, people capped it and re-uploaded it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. Regardless of the outcome, regardless of you think he was wrong, he was right. The main thing I want to touch on is accountability. Do you think as a community, because YouTube could hold people accountable, like, hey, you know, we don't, like, they are family friendly. We don't want this content on our platform, or we don't want this kind of language on our platform, or we don't want this type of mentality on our platform. They could police that. Or do you think it's up to the community to be as content creators, like, hey, we frown upon this, and this, we don't have any tolerance because this shines us all in a bad light. Because it is, the ad apocalypse happened, you know, due to that and a bunch of other reasons. Or do you think, you know what, nobody should be held accountable? I don't think, you know, YouTube should even step in, and I don't think the community has even the right to tell me what to do with my content and how I portray myself, and I don't care what it portrays on everybody else. You know, how do you guys feel about that?
I definitely feel like everybody needs to be responsible for themselves, but then depending on the platform that you're on, adhere to the rules. I think that it always boils down to that of whoever's house you're at, you take your damn shoes off if they tell you to take the shoes off.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you don't like it, go somewhere else, you know. But you need to be transparent about your rules. And I think that's always where this conversation lands with YouTube, especially. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just not enough clear, you know, obviously don't say the N-word on your stream, but as far as being family friendly, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in his videos, he's always kind of takes on the whole family friendly thing like head on, and he always addressed how he felt about family friendly and how pointless he thinks the term is and everything. But
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, everybody kind of just take responsibility for what you're doing. But I think it should be addressed appropriately, because with what recently happened before that, it was 100% a completely out of context misunderstanding. And then with the current thing, I mean, he kind of said exactly what he meant and everything, but everyone as their own content creator should take personal responsibility of what they do. And that's why everybody can't just start up a YouTube channel and be successful.
You're referring to the Nazi stuff, right?
Yeah. That was the previous incident that I'm talking about. That was completely out of context, and that's 100% on the advertisers and the journal or whatever. And that situation was not handled well.
I think that situation, yeah, it was kind of like a hit job. You know, people did go after him for it, but at the same time I don't really want to dive into that specific, but I think at the same time even though that it was taken out of context, you still got to remember you're in the public eye. And there's just some things you do, and some things you just don't do because you don't know how they're gonna turn out, or you just know you shouldn't do them. You know what I mean? And regardless of what kind of content, I've been hearing this a lot, context. Regardless of what context it is, there's some things you just don't do. In the fear of, or just me, I just don't do it because I know better. But I guess people who want to push the envelope in the fear of being held accountable and being shut down. You know what I mean? That's where I come from. And I kind of want to tie in professionalism. You know, a lot of people, like you said, with YouTube, they're like, YouTube's model was, what was it? For content creators, by content creators, something like that. What was their whole slogan, right? And a lot of people,
like that,
yeah, a lot of people feel, and I've been in conversations about, a lot of people feel like, oh, well, you know, YouTube made their platform for us. But people got to realize they made that platform for us, and it was less rules back in the day when people couldn't make money off YouTube. You know what I mean? YouTube was not even pondered about making a living off making videos or vlogs or gameplay on YouTube. And they've had to evolve down the road with with the more investors or the more people coming on or the CEOs or whatever, vice versa business. And you have to evolve and you have to crack down, you know? And like King says, I see this whole thing, you know, YouTube holding people accountable is it sucks with some people, but at the same time, it's like, if I'm using their platform for free, which is we all are, same as Twitch, we could at least buy by some rules. You know what I mean?
Just be transparent and nobody will have anything to bitch about. There'll still be a few that are like, I don't understand the context, but like, still. Okay, you can't say these 5 swear words. Just like on TV, there's a certain amount of words that you can do. And maybe if you really want to get crazy with it, do like movies where you have to submit it and get your content rated. Now that's going to be that's probably going to cost the content creators if they were to do something like that. But I mean, how crazy do you want to get with it? Or just jump on another platform and live stream on that where they don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally agree. You know, there was I meant to bring this up earlier. There was actually reports of, and I saw this on Twitter, a company, I forgot the name of the game, that was actually going to take action against him and
Firewatch.
Yeah, that was
Firewatch.
the Firewatch guys.
And they were going to DCMA, right? They were going to pretty much file legally against him. And in return, that would strike his channel. And in return, it would destroy his channel and take him down forever. I think we'd all agree that's way too much. I understand the person.
That's just straight up illegal, though.
Like,
burn down the house of somebody you don't like.
Yeah, you can't just
I thought my understanding was that they were going to do to PewDiePie what Nintendo does to everybody already, which is if you haven't, and Nintendo's a good one to bring up. I have Splatoon right here with me. You have to be able to make any money off of any Nintendo content, you either have to have no audio whatsoever, or and sometimes you can still get flagged if they somehow come across your content and see it visually. But basically was that they're just going to make sure no revenues earned off of any video that had their content in it.
Wow.
I'm personally one of Nintendo's partners, so I can still make some money off of games like Splatoon and stuff, but they still cut off my monetization and get a way bigger chunk out of it ahead of what my partnership earns me. So they take it off the top. And then I still have to split what's left with my partnership and myself. So it's a little bit of something's better than nothing, but Nintendo they're starting to kind of get out of that mindset because they're starting to bring in third-party game creators onto the Switch and stuff. So they're opening their mind, but I don't think that's something that'll change anytime soon.
Yeah, that is really frustrating. Because I think that in the beginning, a few content creators that I was dealing with were trying to stream, or not, stream on YouTube and then put up the VOD of Pokemon stuff. And they didn't understand the Nintendo stuff and eventually hit.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
I've had to remove entire series after like getting halfway through a game without knowing. And that's how I ended up talking to some content creators I know who are partnered with Nintendo about how exactly do you go about making sure your channel doesn't go down because you're playing a game that you like. Or
that's the last thing you want to happen, get strike down and then you're done.
Yeah.
But my question I present to you guys is, do you think obviously not like this gentleman or his company is doing, is going after, you know, literally doing a hit job, you know, regardless of what PewDiePie said was right or wrong. Do you think dev companies like that should be able to decide who plays their game and who doesn't? I guess what I'm saying, who makes money off their game and who doesn't, depending on they like you or they don't like you, you know?
I think if they put in the little, you know, the small words of their agreement of you buying the game that says, you know, if you create content with this, we can demonetize it or get rid of it if we
At our
don't
will.
think that you. Yeah, I think there's a point where you can go that way, but then again, I just the Firewatch guy, that developer, what he was trying to do was straight up illegal. It wasn't even like he just said, "Oh, you know, we just don't want certain people not to make money." No, he was calling out, "Hey, everybody, get rid of this dude's content in an illegal way," by claiming that he wasn't doing it with fair use. So I think being illegal to go against somebody is wrong, but I think that that's just this whole dangerous area. Like, I don't like any of that because at some point, I mean, that sounds like, okay,
That
we're
can
just
get
gonna shut
abused.
down
That can
YouTube
get
gaming, period.
that can be abused very easily, very easily. Yeah. Well, the thing, like, I don't know, it's a very hard thing to talk. I guess it's hard, like, because it's I know where they're coming from. They don't want, because people gotta realize this. Like, for instance, easy metaphor, or I guess parallel, is if Nike let I don't know, whatever. Nike let somebody wear their shoes in a commercial, and then they went off and did something like murder 1,000 people or something crazy like that. You know what I mean? That image would have them held accountable as, this is our brand. And I think a lot of companies are looking out there, and I think a lot of companies are being more brand aware of, this is our brand. We want to keep it like this. We want to maintain like this, and we don't want to roll astray, especially in the negative aspect, you know? And I think companies, they're trying their best to be like, hey, we'd appreciate if you played the game like this, or you made your content like this. And that's why YouTube's doing it, because ad companies are saying, hey, we don't want our brands represented in this light. I mean, it is what it is. It's plain as day, you know? We all see it coming. But, you know, I don't think, I think dev companies have the right to say, hey, you know, I would like my games portrayed in this light, you know. It is a very dangerous ground to step on, because then who knows? Like, what if someone was like, I just don't like this content creator, and I'm just gonna not let him monetize any of my stuff, you know?
Well, how many things can you think of, like brands or any of that, where a brand was, I don't want to say blamed, but like thought of because of a bad action or having to do with a bad action? Literally, the only thing I can think of is a Ford Bronco because of OJ. Like, I can't think of any other situation where I'm like, okay, I take that back. The suicides, the mass suicides, and they all wore the black and white Nike shoes. Maybe that's two things I can think of in 31 years of being on this planet, where a brand was negatively affected. But I don't even think a brand was negatively affected, because people also think it's funny to now drive a white Bronco. Not that stuff's funny, but like, I don't know. I just think the gaming guys that are getting freaked out of somebody that's negative, playing their game or whatever, think it's going to negatively affect them and think, oh man, PewDiePie said the N-word, so he's clearly racist playing Firewatch. Definitely now every developer that worked on Firewatch is racist. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to see a correlation between
Well,
that.
nobody's going to see a correlation, but at the same time, I think people are trying to uphold this ethics and be like, we don't accept this. I think that guy, the way he did it was, he wanted to make a grandstand and show that he didn't agree with what was done, the actions that were taken. So that was his way of trying to make it right, which in a lot of people's eyes, as games and content creators, we don't agree with how he went about it, which is definitely, I think, in a lot of their books, we view it as illegal and just very lopsided, very shady. But I think he had his best intentions out there, regardless of how he went, I just think no matter what, whether you believe it's right or it's wrong, I just think there needs to be some type of accountability with content creators, I mean, one thing I've noticed in the Twitch community and on YouTube community, there's drama. With people, there comes drama. It's a given. And there's a lot of people doing very shady things, very just unjust things, treating each other just rude, or just using people as stepping stones, And this kind of steps back, and I have a friend that kind of went through this. Do you think as a content creator, say I go to my boy King and I'm like, okay, you know, I don't know King, or I go to him and I just advertise on his wall, go into streamer advertise, or just do something really shady, like try to make him look bad as a content creator to drive people my way, or just start some drama. Do you think content creators should be called out? Whether you
100%.
which forum? I agree. Do you think content creators should be called out for their shadiness, for their discrimination or their racism, or just treating this community that we're lucky to be on with disrespect?
Yeah. I kind of, to me, with this whole with this thing going on with PewDiePie now, and so many other things that are kind of relevant to this topic, there is a bar. On one side of the bar, you have people need to grow the fuck up. But then in the other side of the bar, you have streamers and us content creators. We need to actually be respectful to other people, to ourselves, to our content. But PewDiePie is obviously way on that other side of the bar. At the same time, I'm looking at the list of videos that I've got demonetized. Fuck. I don't know. Maybe we just got demonetized. I'm sorry if we did, but like the videos that were actually hit, no different than a movie that anyone 17 and older could go see, or you know, nothing too crazy. Video game violence, jokes about video game drugs, stories. It's all fiction. That's the thing. It's not a person doing drugs on their webcam, or it's not someone doing a vlog telling you about how they think drugs are cool. And I think that this algorithm will never in a million years be able to tell the difference between someone who's putting on a fictional performance and someone who's actually trying to promote hate and drugs. And that's where the grow up part comes in.
I think there's a point to where, yes, that is all true, but then again, it still boils down to YouTube is saying, this is the precedent we are trying to set. These things are allowed. These things are not allowed. Now, they haven't come forward and been very clear about that, but I think that's the precedent that they're trying to set. You know, I understand that, yes, there are violent video games. Yes, there are violent movies full of sexual things, and those things are on other platforms. That stuff gets put on YouTube, they're going to flag that kind of content, and you're not going to be able to monetize. So I think I still feel like this boils down to the platforms being clear about their standards and what they allow and what they're not going to allow.
Yeah.
And to me, I think I do agree that you should take into consideration the other content creator. And I mean, it's almost like it's a hard conversation to have, because when you talk about PewDiePie in general, he doesn't really correlate to anyone else. I mean, this is the biggest dude there is on the platform. And unfortunately, as much as I don't like the whole, like, celebrities or whatever to a different standard than everybody else, but when you get to someone on that scale, they do need to take into consideration the amount of influence they have. When they make certain or take certain actions.
Yeah, because I mean, I think when you, and I think Rihanna, this is random. Rihanna, I remember somebody, like, she came out with, I don't know who listens to Rihanna, it's kind of random, but she switched up her style of music, and her music videos started Ella, yeah. But you know, she kind of switched to this, like, you know, she wanted to be a badass, sexy girl. You know, she kind of went that route instead of being family friendly. And some people were upset. They're like, "Hey, Rihanna, you know what I mean? Our kids look up to you." And she was like, "Well, I didn't choose to be a role model." That right there, that perspective is very, very twisted. It makes no sense, because you got to realize, with like the saying, with power comes great responsibility. With that much influence and that many views, you got to realize that you have a huge impact on people's lives. The way they think, the way they feel, the things they like, the things they don't like. Because I mean, people like me on YouTube, I watch a lot of YouTube and Twitch. I watch those people, and you're pretty much spending time with them, like, on a personal level by watching their videos. It is what it is. And I think just people got to realize, like, hey, you know, there's a bigger picture than me just speaking my mind because I want to. You know, I have to watch what I say. I have to watch what I do, because I know that all these, you know, the demographic that watches me is, you know, I have influence over them, you know, and it, to me, you know, not to throw any shade, but to me, that's common sense, you know, I mean, we're all content creators. We're all not like huge, you know, and, but we, regardless of how big or small your community is, you realize things you say and do can have effect on people, whether for good or for bad.
Yeah.
You know, and it skips our mind how some people don't realize that, or try to play the dumb card, or just say it shouldn't matter. You know, it shouldn't matter. They could do whatever they want to do. Or, you know, the typical excuse I've seen a lot on Twitter lately is, you know, do you want a safe space, or it's not a big deal, you know? And it's like, but that's not true though.
It's
Yeah,
also
it's rough when
true
you get
to,
that
like,
hard.
your expression though, like your how you express your art. I mean, if she's just all of a sudden getting dirtier because she thought it would be edgy or whatever, but I mean, if that's, I mean, I don't know how much of her stuff she writes or whatever. I have no idea, but I mean, if that's what's in her mind, if that's what she wants to sing about, that as an artist, that is her right.
Yep.
But at the same time,
You gotta be ready
have
for the
responsibility.
And you got, and the thing, and I think the thing a lot of people skip out on is they think there's no consequences. Because I know if I did something dumb, my consequences would be, you know, either my community says, "Gee, you're whack, you're crazy. I don't know why you rubbed warm honey on your body and showed us live on Twitch." You know, I'm out. I'm never coming back. Linda might come back, but I'm never coming back. You know, and I know there's consequences. And some people go around content creating on Twitch and YouTube, whatever, any platform, and in life, thinking that I should be immune to consequences, you know? And that's one thing I've never grasped. You know? I don't know.
No one's immune to consequences. Positive.
Yeah. And I think that's something that needs to be brought to light in the Twitch, especially Twitch community. And I think this might sound bad, but I think, for me personally, I think a way to hold people accountable is, I mean, I don't know what you gotta think, but like, I would say call them out publicly in a respectful manner. Because obviously it's a very shady stuff. And, you know, whether it's someone talking to me or something I hear about, you know, and they're just talking, you know, between DMs, or they're talking in person because they're afraid of, you know, they're hurt, or they don't like what happened, but they can't speak out about it because they're afraid of whiplash. That, oh, you shouldn't call this person out, or that's not okay. You know, I don't think that mentality of, you know, suppressing somebody that's been done wrong is okay. You know, I think we should beta publicly, because we are a public platform. We are in the eye of everybody, whether we like it or not. And I think we should beta publicly, hold each other accountable, you know?
Yep. Yeah, I think it all comes down to integrity. And
yeah,
hopefully your idols have integrity, but if they don't, find some new idols, because there's going to be a certain point where there's nothing you can do anyway. And, you know, your idols that are on YouTube that want to do whatever they want to do, they're going to change platforms. And this whole thing just sucks for everybody.
It does. It's
a rough time. It
is.
You got two sides of the argument.
Yeah.
Stay true to yourself and your content and pay your rent.
Yeah.
Or clickbait, you know, 1,000-degree knives. I'm making a video tonight, right?
And the thing is, that's going to be a battle to the end of time with content creating, you know? Because, I mean, sorry to go on the rant, but I mean, you guys know about Vine. You remember how Vine closed down, and a lot of Viners went to Instagram and YouTube?
Oh, they're on YouTube full force.
Like, good. Like, I watched the H3. If Blackiechan, you probably know what I'm talking about. I watched H3 HD about it, and Vine Invasion. Like,
it's crazy.
I watched some of that stuff, but I'm just like, what is going on? Like, who watches
the genre
this stuff?
changed. People switched from the biggest thing to watch on YouTube was video games for a while, and now it's vlogging, and the majority of those gigantic channels are ex-Viners.
And then it's gonna be shaving your pet. Then it's gonna be, I mean. I'm honestly, I'm ready for the next thing. Don't get me wrong, I like vlogs. I have liked and I've been a part of the YouTube gaming community, but I'm ready for something new to jump into. I don't know what it's gonna be. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe we all
maybe you need to come up with.
I was thinking about social eating, but that I think that already went by. Bad, but There's always ASMR, but that really freaks me out. I don't know if you guys have seen any of that stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit. A friend of
50-50.
mine who was a gamer started up an ASMR channel, and now
Is
he
it a guy?
does. Yeah, he's a
That's
guy.
awesome. That's
It's
awesome.
a guy. He does crafting and ASMR stuff now. He makes
Oh my
he makes
gosh.
slime and does ASMR like stuff with slime and those little orb balls, water, those like water balls and stuff like that. And like my wife loves those videos, and she's like, yeah, maybe we should have maybe we should make an ASMR video.
As well. And I think
I don't
that's
know if
that's
my
kind of what
audience
you were talking about, jumping genres and trying little things here and there. But it's hard when you move your whole channel over to something else, especially if it's a fad, because if that fad
It's
goes
not
away,
Fads don't
you are
last. Fads don't
screwed.
last.
Now
But
there is one like hidden fad that has never gone away and views, and I've never really understood it, and that is opening toys.
I just
well,
It's been
millions
been
of views.
popular for years and
Mhm.
years,
Mhm.
and people don't even know about the channels still,
Mhm.
and they still make like millions of views a video. And it's
Yeah.
the weirdest fad, but it just sticks around. It hasn't gone away.
well, the
Old
way I
toys,
see
new
it,
toys, or yes.
Like new toys, like opening those little,
Yeah.
like, you know, those little chocolate eggs that used to have toys in them and they banned them here in America. There's still channels in America that order them offline and
Oh.
open up those eggs and stuff
yeah.
to see what toy is inside. So you see people doing that with those like, are they Hatchimals? And then there's those
Mhm.
other things where it's all the different little foods or whatever. I can't remember what those are called. I mean,
I think
it's
part
really
of that is
weird.
on the kids gaming, or not kids gaming, kids YouTube.
Yeah,
Which
probably.
I haven't even looked at it all until a friend of mine was like, "You should start playing kids games and talking like a little kid." And I'm like, "Why?" And he sent me 2 videos, and I was like, "This dude has 40 million views. And he's talking like this. Hey guys, how you?" No,
King, do it, man.
Self-respect.
King, do it, bro.
You sure that wasn't the
that
It
voice.
movie?
I'm telling you, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do. No, but the thing is, like,
Gosh.
I view it as those kids, the kids that like watch those unboxing for toys. It's just like unbox therapy. You know, that guy who just unboxes tech and gear, just like that. And some people like watching things unboxed because they explain the technical stuff about it. How, you know, how much it weighs, will it fit here, will it work with that? And I mean, kids. I mean, there's so many kids, and kids love YouTube. So I'd imagine something like that will blow up.
Dare I say the next big thing is
It's like
reboxing
Christmas every
streams.
day.
Because what? What'd you say, Robcast?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Reboxing.
Reboxing. All right, guys, we're gonna put these shoes right back in the box. Let's do this. You know,
That
I
actually
do like
would
the
be a
channel.
good one.
Yeah.
That would be a good one. And
How to
and then-
preserve
Hmm?
after you've eaten or after you've opened it.
Just play
and
the
then
video
you
game.
send it to someone who actually needs it and not the millionaire.
Yes.
There you
Box,
go.
I like it.
Well,
So it's really not about yourself. I'm
I'm
not
just gonna-
doing this for me.
I'm just
doing
gonna
this for
start
my
making a
community.
YouTube video right now. Thank you, guys. No, but the thing is,
I
like,
do
there's
like fun.
yeah, there's so many YouTube ideas out there, and the easy way is to ride the wave, ride the topics,
Mhm.
you know, or do what you got to do, you know. It's just like even with me right now, I'm in like transition between I do Twitch, but I want to also do YouTube content because why not, you know? Because there's just some content you can't do on Twitch. Whether it's you're traveling somewhere, whether it's just something that where you're moving locations, or your setup can't go to the front room or wherever you're making this content at. YouTube is a great platform for that. So as of right now, I'm trying to do my best to branch out and make variety content, not just gaming, on YouTube. So
Mhm.
that's my goal with that. You know.
Absolutely. I think just rolling with the tide and figuring out what's going to work for you and still be able to keep your community happy and excited, and that's really what it's all about, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
and
glad
I
we
think,
can all come together and talk about this stuff, because if we can't, I mean, everyone's just gonna, 1,000-degree knife clickbait until we all figure out how to, do it on our own. And having this community glitch that you're starting to build for us to come on and talk about
Mhm.
how we create our content and how we do it, and it's really neat. And I did just want to say thank you for doing this podcast, man. This has
No
been
problem, man.
a blast
No
for
problem. Anytime.
bringing us all on here, man. This
Mhm.
is great. I really like being able to share our thoughts and dreams,
Mhm.
help each other out.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah, because I mean, one thing I've noticed on just Twitch in general, and I noticed this since I was smaller, and I still notice this time, is everybody's so taboo. You know, like you say, hey man, you know, I just started streaming. I want to know what platforms you use, or you know, what are some tips and tricks? And then people are like, I don't want to tell you, because they're afraid of that person surpassing them in views, afraid of the cookie monster that's going to steal all your views. You know, and some people are scared about that, and they can be scared all day, but at the same time, it's like, we're a community. And no streamer has ever made it to where they are to this day, whether you're small or big, without help from somebody else, you know, without a community behind them, you know, because without all the viewers that watch you, you would be nowhere, you know? So what makes you think you have the right to be like, all right, well, you're not a viewer, but you're a content creator, and I want to talk to you because I don't want you to get better than me. And it's like, that is so, that makes no sense. That's selfish, you know? And that's
as Gary Vaynerchuk says, content rules. Content sucks. Your channel's gonna.
That's
suck.
what I'm saying. Content is content, no matter. Well, there are some exceptions I've seen on the internet, but at the same time, it's like content is content. Yeah, I do agree, and I'm
goes away after a while. So
yeah, and I mean, I'm hoping that, you know, this was a positive experience for you guys, and you know, this, and I like the exchange of knowledge perspectives from Rofcast, from a boy Blackiechan, from King. We all have their perspective. We've all come from different parts of life. We're all here sharing the same platform for the love of games and in the communities, you know, and you know, hopefully we all grow together, you know, whether we take something good out of this or not, and that's what this is all about, you know.
Yeah.
And if anybody watching has any questions for us, definitely hit us up on Twitter, all of our social medias. Come watch us and chat. I mean, I will answer any question you have besides how much money are you making on YouTube. That's the one thing that I'm not gonna. Like, 7 cents today. Congratulations, but like, I feel like there's a point where it's like, all right, that's a little personal. But like how we do our stuff, I am more than welcome to talk to you about it, you know, in chat or just privately on all the social medias that I'm a part of. I'm sure the rest of these guys the same way. So
yeah, aren't these our handles right down here?
Yep.
These are
our handles are right below us. So I mean, if you guys are like, man, I like that guy's Viking beard, I want to touch it. Hey, follow my boy Rob. He's great at RP. You like King's
beard.
Baby beard. There we go. Follow King. And you like, you know, if you like Jack, you know, Blackiechan's, you know, if you like Blackiechan as a person, you like his blue headphones or his Atari shirt.
Japanese Atari shirt.
Follow him, you know what I mean? So these are all, like, you will never see a content creator on this show that we don't share our mindset with, because we're all pretty much positive streamers. We have a good outlook on life. We enjoy each other's company, you know what I mean? And I want to keep it that way, because I trust all you guys with these guys. You can go watch these guys and you'll have a great time with every single one of them, you know, every single one of them.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk about one more thing, and this kind of ties in about what YouTube and Twitch and just platforms need to separate the game. Other people are seeing like, hey, there's blood in the water. I'm a shark. You're a shark. Let's go to town. Let's have a buffet. Blackiechan, you know a lot about this. The Audition Me.
Yeah. So Audition Me is an app. It's a social app similar to what you would find on like Instagram or Twitter or whatever. But it's completely made by content creators like Captain Sparkle, Sally Green Gamer, OMG Chad, those guys. Some of them are YouTubers, most of them are YouTubers. There's also streamers. Some of them Minecraft, some of them not. But it's basically an app that was created by some content creators to help them try to figure out a way to continue their growth, continue to make a living, but still by doing what they love, which is creating content. So on this app, they're trying to get more content creators on there. They're trying to get more people to download the app. It's called Audition Me. But it's basically a place where you can, as a content creator, you can either share pictures or you can video. They're thinking about implementing like live streaming and things like that for content creators there. And they want to build a big enough community and start doing like monetization on it.
I need to check that out.
While it's small, they're trying to bring people in to be able to do some content creation.
So my question is there an end goal? I imagine anybody's end goal, especially Audition Me, is to have people stream on their platform exclusively or just stream on their platform to bring ad revenue in them, right?
I think it's more of a content creator. I think it's going to be kind of a venue for people if they want to run ad. I don't know if they'll run people's content, but I know that they do eventually want to be able to monetize in the best way possible for content creators to be able to create the content they like to make, They haven't implemented live streaming there yet, but I know you can upload videos with thumbnails. You can put up just images, GIFs or whatever. And they're just kind of rolling it out, making it better. I do like a really small series I've been doing for 2 weeks. On Saturdays, I upload a short Minecraft minigame video on for a series. And I don't make any money off of anything. They don't pay me or anything, but
it's a good platform.
You know, it's a good place to get in while
new.
Kind of like the reason I decided to stream to Mixer. It's a young place. There's going to be a lot of people going there to check it out. See,
I was doing the same thing.
Yeah, figure out who's the person to follow to see the content they like.
Yeah.
I love all the new stuff coming out. It's really going to be interesting to see where this goes, because clearly not YouTube. Like for now, I mean, everybody's moving away. I don't think YouTube's going to die at all. But
YouTube's not going to die. I mean, people are going to leave. The thing is, YouTube will always be demand. It's a platform. People were going to leave and people are going to come in. It is what it is. Audition Me, Mixer, just like what Twitch. Mixer is a smaller platform, nowhere near what Twitch has. But there are still people on that platform because they don't agree with what Twitch has, or they just want something different, you know? And neither one's better or worse, you know? But if you guys kind of look down to it, there is less people on Mixer, so... But I don't know. But regardless, content creating is content creating, and you could go about it different ways. You know, do you join the sea of many other fish and try to eat fish food, or drown or die? Fish can't drown. What? Or die, you know what I mean? So it is definitely it's a journey, man. It's a journey. And I think it takes a village, takes a lot of people to put their minds together and just, you know, spread knowledge, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta like we talked about, this whole podcast is kind of how do you balance what's going to work for you, help you to make ends meet, but also create quality content, do something you love, and still have an awesome community. Like the people in chat for this stream, like it's been really awesome. They've been really engaged, and it's been really cool being in the stream, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
How to stay relevant, not be a douche, basically.
How to stay relevant, not be a douche, and get kicked off a platform. But yeah, I am definitely down to have you guys back. Anytime you want to come back, hit me up. You guys come back. Well, these honestly are going to be, we used to have these every Sunday, but I was like, we have a list of people coming on. And I mean, it's growing. It's like, why not have you every Sunday, you know, and upload these to YouTube? And I mean, you guys are always welcome to be back. Usually we have one person on, but I mean, if there's a slot open, hit me up and you guys come right back. You guys were great, Rofcast. Thank you, man. And Blackiechan. Thanks. But now I want to open up to the chat. If you guys have any questions about how to be a content creator, what to do in a content creator, what do you do in this situation, or about, you know, our thoughts on a game or a movie that came out, let us know. You know, definitely let us know. We could do it in the chat right now. Just, you know, drop a question there. We'll read them off and we'll answer them, you know. If not, then so be it. So be it. But
one thing.
Oh, go, Rof.
I was going to say one thing I did want to mention. I mean, just kind of quick, but we mentioned it a little bit before we started. This is something that I will straight out say this really grinds my gears when people are watching clips. And, you know, I understand that you want to go with the more popular clips because if so many people have watched it, you know, there must be some reason people are watching. It's probably worth it. It's not going to be just a 30-second clip of nothing. Sure. But when you're on my page watching my clips, why does Twitch then take you and redirect you
to a different page?
Got thousands that come watch these really popular clips. Why not watch some more of mine or some more of G's or whoever's? I mean, there's a reason.
I definitely understand what you're saying.
Only has 15 views.
Well, it's kind of like YouTube's suggested. You know what I mean? Their suggested bar on the right side. It kind of has a bunch of just random stuff there. But I definitely see what you're saying. If you're there to watch a clip of you, why not just continue watching clips of you? You know?
I'm all for clips having you all over the place. Don't get me wrong. And that's great for discovering other people, big and small. But when you are in like my channel, very specifically, like you're like looking at a list of my clips, it then goes to redirect you. And I just thought that was a little bit weird.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But we do have a question. What, in your opinion, is the most important thing as a content creator? And this is open to, you know, your perspective. I know a lot of people are gonna have different answers. What do you think is the most important thing?
Why don't you answer this one first, G?
Me, I don't know. Me personally, I think I'm different than some people. I would say having fun. It sounds really cliche. It sounds really just like, oh, that's the answer everybody says, have fun. But I hold that close to my heart because if I'm not having fun, you're gonna notice. You know, I'm be like this. I'm like this. Or I'll just turn off the stream. You are gonna notice if I'm not having fun because you could definitely tell someone now. And at the end of the day, it goes like have fun because if you're having fun, your community's having fun. If they see you smiling, it's contagious. If they see you smiling and laughing, even if you die, they're having fun. The thing I'm just not this person. The thing I see some people do, and I'm not saying they're bad, is they rage and they get mad and they're just very negative. It's contagious, like Rob says, because if I'm negative and I'm mad, you're gonna be negative and mad in chat. I've seen chats just go crazy, and I'm just I was gonna leave. You know what I mean? Because the streamer's upset about something, so they're upset about something, and that can backfire very quick. Because if you have a toxic chat, the day you don't want to be toxic, you cannot hold them back. They will be toxic towards you. And the thing is, like, have fun, be positive, and that way you'll cultivate a positive community. Because you are what you eat. Mm-hmm. I am the people I surround myself with. The day I could definitely say that your chat is a resemblance of your content. When I come into someone's stream, or Roth or Blackiechan or King come into someone's stream, the first thing we notice is the chat. You know, are people being positive? Are people being douche? Are we spamming emotes? Are they being positive? Are they being negative? And some people like negative chats. Some people like positive chats. It's your decision. So I would say that's the most important thing. Have fun and try to build a positive environment. No matter how cheesy that sounds to some people, it'll pay off. It'll pay off.
Yeah, I think it's easier to become popular being positive than it is to be negative, and that's just going to eat away at your soul if you're negative all the time.
And the other thing is stay true to yourself, because if you're sitting there bullshitting the whole time, that's another thing that's going to eat away at your soul.
Oh yeah,
that's the truth. Faking it every single day.
Oh yeah,
and it's not even role play. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah. It's just tiring once you do that. So I say like I have to 100% agree with what you guys say, and on top of that, I'd also say be consistent. Whether you're going to have a schedule, whether you're going to commit to a specific streaming schedule, long term, being consistent, your people or your viewers are going to know where you are, when you're going to be there, and they can look forward to hanging out with you.
Yep.
Because really it matters. If there's one thing I could change about myself and having a channel and even streaming, I hate that I can't be as consistent as I wish I could be. And I hope to one day be extremely consistent. And that's one thing I found with everybody. Most people who are successful, they're pretty consistent. And people know what to expect and when to expect it.
Mm-hmm.
When I have a hold on things and I'm actually able to stay consistent with my schedule every day when it says when they're expecting, it's a world of difference.
Oh yeah, you feel more comfortable. You don't feel as pressured, you know?
Yeah, and your family feels less pressured and less upset as well.
Yeah.
What are you doing streaming? It's 2 in the morning.
Be gone.
But I would, sorry to cut in, I would definitely say, guys, one thing I've seen, I actually was in a conversation on Twitter about this. Some guy asked, he's a brand new content creator, how many hours should he stream a day? How often should he stream? You know, how long should he be online for? And this is what I've noticed, and I've been streaming for about a year and almost a year and a half, is when you first start out, and I think we all did this, when you first start out, you put pedal to the metal. All you do is eat, sleep, drink, smell, feel. Yep. I don't know how you feel. Streams. Like, that's all I wanted to do. I was here 10 hours a day because I wasn't working at the time. Even when I was working, I was here every single day. But the thing you don't see behind the scenes, what a lot of people say, is it will stress out your partner if you have one. It'll stress out your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife. It'll stress out your relationship with your dog. I mean, Hugo's been yelling at me lately. It'll stress. Your work. It'll affect you. People gotta realize your health is what matters. I've seen so many streamers have, Bike Man. He had a acute heart attack, or was it a stroke? He had health issues. Now I don't know what those are contributed to, and somebody else had one too. People are starting to notice that health matters. We sit here, I sit at work. I work in a tile warehouse, but we sit all day. When we get home, we sit all day. So you got to remember your health is first. The most important thing is have fun and your health. Because if you're dead, ain't nobody having fun. No, that's not fun. Being dead is not fun. but it's very, very important to do that, you know? And don't push yourself too hard. Don't be like, I need to put in 5 hours a day because I need to catch up to this bigger streamer. Don't compare yourself to other streamers. I've done it. We've all done it. We've all look at other content like, damn, Lick is killing it. Dr. Disrespect is killing it. Grims is killing it. I gotta put in more hours. That's no way to catch up. The way to catch up is being rested, being healthy, and putting out the best content you can.
Quality over quantity. Every day,
Yeah.
every game, almost every single aspect of life.
Yep. Because
I've learned that the hard way for sure.
Yep. Because 2 hours of great content, you smiling, having fun, laughing, is a lot better than 12 hours of you just being dead tired and just be literally dragging yourself through the stream. Because people are gonna come in.
Zombie.
Yeah. Because say if I'm brand new, and I come in a King stream, and this dude is just on his 10th hour. I don't know this, but this dude is tired. He doesn't want to talk to chat.
Did you catch my 24-hour stream? Is that what you're referring to?
No, but he is tired. He is not having a time. He's being annoyed because everybody knows when you get tired, you get annoyed easily. And I come in and I don't know this guy. And I'm like, dang, this guy is tired. Why is he annoyed? I'm out. You have about 5 to 10 seconds for someone to click your channel and to watch you, maybe more, to make an impression. And remember that, like my boy Rob said, quality over quantity. I throughout the week, I used to put in like 10 hours, 20 hours every weekend. And I told myself, no way. It's good. I like to be here. And the truth to the matter is, if you're not live, you're not live. You're not getting views. You're not getting follows. And a lot of people, that scares a lot of content creators to death because they need to be live because this is how they make a living, you know? So just watch your health and just, don't push yourself.
Absolutely.
You know? But, so we got another question. It says, and everybody gets this. Were you nervous when you started streaming? If so, what did you do to get comfortable? What advice would you give to somebody that is shy or brand new?
I definitely was nervous the first time. And I think, real quick, the only way to get over it is to continually do it over and over and over and over. And sometimes it doesn't go away. I still will jump into a new game and be like, hope nobody laughs at me.
Sorry about that.
You know?
You're good.
New game jitters definitely happen. When I first started out, especially when I first got a camera, it was new for me. It was very weird to have someone in the house with me at all times. I mean, it was only someone, sometimes two. But yeah, it was still very weird and different to know that like one little mistake could ruin a life I was just starting. Other than that, I mean, it doesn't really happen too much, but there have been moments. I mean, maybe G's been in this situation too a few times over the years. But between like Conan, Ark, and in GTA, there have been some moments where I have been pretty goddamn starstruck. And all of a sudden, like you start talking to, an example would be like Mr. Moon, and whether you're a Mr. Moon fan or not, doesn't matter. You know that there are 3,000 people who are now watching you.
Yep.
And that actually did happen to me once in GTA. I just walked into a bar, and all of a sudden, he was even a character I'd even met before in another game, specifically him, and I did fine. And all of a sudden, I'm just like, y'all better stop causing trouble. Just got in the car and drove away. I had nothing I could say to him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I specifically remember something that happened a couple weeks ago. I got raided while streaming on YouTube, and something I have thought about and have watched, some of the big Twitch streamers especially will send their 3,000-4,000 community to raid somebody that's got 2 viewers, is they just freeze. And they're like, oh my God. And I was like, there's no way that is going to be me. And so every day before the stream, I'm like, if I get raided, there's no way. And I got hit with, I think it was like 300 people came in, 250, something like that. Just cool as a cucumber. Oh, what's up, guys? How you doing? And like inside, I'm like, oh my God. But it was awesome. I felt like I really was able to hold it together just from thinking about that and preparing mentally for that. Like maybe one day I'll get raided, or maybe one day, I'll have a big community drop by. Because I feel like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just to mentally prepare for that.
Yeah.
Fun story, actually. I mentally prepared for a raid once, a very specific raid. Back when GTA first got released onto the PS4, Xbox One gen, it made a big comeback, and that's when I started playing it. Did I say GTA 4? Well, GTA 5. I started playing it then, and I was streaming as well. And people were like, "You got to stream it?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, sure." And I was in some random older guy's stream. He was in his late 40s, early 50s. All of a sudden, he got what I mean. I think it's like a 4chan or Reddit thing. But all of a sudden, he had like 50 people in his chat saying, "Put shoe on head or riot." And I'm watching this guy, and this poor old guy had no idea what he was in for. He's put shoe on head. I don't get it. And this is all everyone wanted. And it just reached the point where he had no idea what to do, and he just ended the stream. And I'm like, I'm ready for a shoe on head raid. And sure enough, it came like a week later. And I'm like, listen, I know what you guys are all about, and I know you're trying to troll me out of here, but I was ready for you. And I'm like, and I like look online, and I start showing shoes, and I'm like, you see this shoe right here? It's a $200 shoe. I only need one of them. You buy me this shoe, and I will put it on my head live for you guys. And they're like, what do we do? He kind of agreed, but he wants our money.
He said he
I
would
don't know.
do
They just
it.
keep saying it. They just kept on
He
saying
said he
it.
would do it. Yeah, I would definitely say. I mean, like, I think. Well, when I first started, it was I totally lost my train of thought. You guys can go. I totally lost my train of thought. I was like, oh, I already spoke on that. I already talked about that. But yeah, about the shoe rate and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
We can move on. We can move on.
Yeah, we can move on. All right. So somebody else asked, I think it was Austin asked, what are your thoughts on equipment? Like I see a lot of you guys have similar microphones.
Go ahead, Ruff.
What? I was reading chat. I missed the
Oh,
question.
no. They were saying, what's our thoughts on equipment? We kind of touched on this a little bit before.
I think if you have the resources to run a two PC setup,
You do it.
it puts you
Oh,
in
yeah.
another league.
Oh yeah.
A really good example of that is Jimmy Cotton Gamer, man of a few names.
Cotton Gamer.
Because he's got two PCs. He's got his one PC that's running his stream that's got all the music, copyright, troll, racist, whatever is requested, obviously handled, but whatever. His content is not going to get trolled off of YouTube because he's got a totally different computer recording it without any music, without his sub alerts, all of that. So all his best moments are available with all the true sound and video that you need.
This is very smart. Very smart. Yeah, I
do it without
even doing stuff at 4K too, which is
dude,
super jelly.
Yeah. I would definitely say. I mean, if you just came back, Blackiechan, we're talking about how what are the importance of equipment, like your microphone and audio and video. I would say honestly, like a lot of people say, you know, the typical answer, you know, don't worry about equipment because you don't know if you're going to stream forever.
Yep.
That is there's merit in that because you don't know if you like streaming. You kind of see, like, you might see King of Soup. You're like, damn, that guy's really good. I love his beard. I want to stream. And you're like, I hate this. And you wasted $1,000+ But I would say audio and video is a plus because I mean, the clearer you can hear my very white, smooth G voice, the better it is, you know? The clearer you can see my face, the better it is. The better my video looks, the crisper my video looks, the no pixelation, the better the experience is for you guys. So I would say it's important.
Absolutely.
It's important, but don't ball out when you first start because you don't know, you don't know if you like it.
I think at a certain point, the way technology is, I mean, you can really get some kick-ass equipment for $50.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can get a 720 camera, which is perfectly fine for live streaming, perfectly fine, and a pretty cheap $20-$30 mic. You know, everybody can go give plasma for a couple weeks and save up that kind of money if you really want to do it. And if you don't have a PC, if you do have a console, you can stream straight off of your console, start off with that stuff. And if you don't have any of that stuff, right here's your phone. I mean, most people are going to have a phone you can live stream off of, at least at some certain points. It's getting really, really, really cheap to still put out relatively good content. But like you said, just start out slow because I went balls to the wall as soon as I could and bought as much stuff as I could. And it's just, that was rough. You know, it's like, I guess I'll eat ramen noodles today because I bought a new monitor. So, you know, it's just, you don't want to burn yourself out.
Yeah, the thing is, yeah, and it's just, you know, I mean, kind of gauge what you want. Like, what kind of audio and video do I really want? And budget, like honestly, budget. Like, I mean, I got 3 monitors. 2 are brand new. One's an old one I used to have. Like, you don't need to, you know. I mean, my lights. The setup altogether is a lot of money, but budget. You don't need to go buy the newest. Like Elgato came out with that new green screen, the one you kind of roll up. Like, how much is that? It's like $100 and something dollars.
Almost, yeah, it's like $150 something dollars.
Are you serious?
You could buy.
Holy crap!
You could
It's
buy
legit though.
yeah.
Like if I just had the money to throw, buy one.
It's pretty much the
easy.
price of an
It's
Audio
so
Technica AT2020 mic with the XLR Focusrite interface. For you get around the same price. If you got the money for it, ball out. But if you're brand new, you don't know, guys, budget, go buy.
No, focus on your content.
Yeah, focus on your content.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Content is key no matter what. But if you can afford a little bit better mic and a little bit better camera, it's always going to help.
Mhm.
But I will say, I feel like mic is more important than camera because, you know, if every time you talk, I just hear, you know, it's like nobody wants to hear that. You know, make a DIY pop filter. This pop filter was $80.
Yeah,
the best $80 I've spent. I also wanted it to look pretty, but I mean, you can put a sock over a hanger, boom, pop filter. You know.
Oh, that's what I did. I had a Yeti. And I had 2 really thick fleece socks inside out on top of it because to me, like I love the Yeti, but I couldn't afford a good pop filter, so I had socks. And that's what I used.
And they work great, man.
Dude, you gotta honestly do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep.
All right. So we'll move on. Nobody has it says. Somebody says, how do you recharge from streaming? How do you, you know, whether it be you have a hobby, you go to the gym, you play basketball, you do water polo, you know, you're a male stripper at night. I don't know. But how do you go about recharging your batteries from streaming?
Cake and candy.
Cake and candy.
That's it.
Butterfingers and Mountain Dew.
You know, in between your average set of streams, you know, just either working on some YouTube content, which isn't quite relaxing, but still,
it's something else.
It's it's something to do where I'm not obligated to sit there and respond to people. I can just be in my own world, listen to my music, and work on that. But when I really need to just take a break, I disconnect and go to the woods. You know, actual like camping with other people. I don't just disappear into the woods and let my beard grow.
I just go in the woods and strip down butt neck and just run around. Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
I actually like to get outside. Like if I can, I try to get outside or I open a window, something like that. Get some fresh air.
Yeah, I do the same. I had a really bad habit about just being tunnel vision for the past year, and I told myself this year it will not happen. I'll get out more. I'll do more with my friends and family. You know, and I've been trying to make it happen. When I want to charge, I take the dogs for a walk and go play with them, or I just go to the store, or I just walk. You know, you know, or go watch a movie or something. It's just nice. And some people might be thinking like, if you're brand new at streaming, man, I want to be on 24/7. It is mentally tiring streaming all day long. And some people might be like, that makes no sense. You're not being physically active. Paying attention to multiple things at once is draining on anybody, you know? And you got to take time off. You got to rest up.
It's amazing how exhausting this is sometimes. Like I'll get done with just a 2 or 3 hour stream on a Saturday night and just be like, oh my gosh, I can't stream tomorrow. Like there's no way I'm going to recover from this without 20 hours of sleep and 10 beers.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be rough.
Yeah, there's some days where I hit the bed. I'm just like, oh, thank God for the bed, you know? Thank God for the bed. All right, so here's a really good question. Said, do you guys think that co-streaming and like co-recording on YouTube is better to get likes and follows and subs? So you think co-recording on YouTube and then dual streaming on Twitch is a good way to increase your, I guess, your size, your community?
So we're not talking about collaborating. We're talking about on multiple platforms.
Talking about collaborating in general, whether it be on YouTube or Twitch. Do you think it's a good way to grow your community?
With other content
creators?
With
other content creators.
Okay, okay. I'll let you guys go ahead.
I would say, yeah. If you share the same mindset, if you have the same mindset as that content creator and your communities are alike, they'll meld great together. I say, why not? You know, a lot of people are scared of, well, if I play EFT with King of Soup or Cotton Gamer, they're going to be better than me. They have more viewers than me. He's going to sell my viewers. If that's all you think about, you're in some deep trouble because that's selfish right there. You know what I mean? It's about having fun. If I'm having fun playing with Blackiechan, he has more viewers than me. we're still having fun at the end of the day. And it's all about making those personal relationships, you know?
Absolutely. I definitely felt in the beginning like they're going to steal my stuff. Like when I was doing collaborating, and then like the longer I did this, I was like, man, not only are these people becoming my friends, I just need to get over myself and be like, I'm just, you're afraid your content's not good enough.
Yeah,
If
it
your
comes down to your
content isn't
content.
good enough, then you don't
Not
deserve
good
the views
enough.
anyway. So
That
You know?
being said, though, do be careful because there are people out there that want nothing more than to do.
Oh yeah.
all
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Yep.
They
absolutely.
see you and their eyes turn into dollar signs.
Well, I'm sure all
for
of
a
us
reason.
are on Twitter and get that message. Hey, I really love your content on platform. Would love play with you. You know, just like I get tons of those, and it's you go and check out their content, and they've got 1 subscriber. And no offense to anybody that's small, but it's like I can't play with everybody, you know. But then again, I want to play with people that have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times as many subscribers and followers as I do. So it's just rough.
It
But
just
yeah,
all-
that's exactly true. You got to be careful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough call because sometimes you have to be careful because, well, not even be careful. It's kind of an unwanted. I would say it's like collateral damage. Sometimes you can collab with somebody and they can be way bigger than you. You'll bring on a bunch of more followers or subscribers, but they sometimes will only be there to see who you collab with, and not necessarily stick around for your content, which is unfortunate. So it can be a good way to grow, but sometimes it can be a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I think it's scary when I have collaborated with other people who are, let's just say, not family friendly, and then when I put that stuff on my channel, I'm going,
Yeah.
I cannot believe he said that, and you know, but that was a really funny thing to happen. Like, how much of this am I going to edit? You know, so that's another thing to worry about too, is like the type of people that you're collabing with too.
Yeah. Yeah, and don't just collab with somebody that that person has numbers. I'm gonna collab with them because when
Like
you drop,
minds are important.
yeah, when you drop your community off, whether I host Rofcast or King of Soup and hopefully host one day, drop you guys of a Blackiechan's, we'll figure a way out. But I know you guys are in good hands. I know you enjoy the content. I know that no one's gonna do anything crazy. You know, you just gotta. That's something to keep in mind.
Is that why you don't host JT? I knew it. I knew
JT,
it.
man. Last time I did,
knew
JT
it.
was jumped up and in like a Speedo. It was crazy, man. Almost had a stroke. But yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like minds, man. Like minds. All right, and then I got another one. So somebody asked, just in general, your personal opinion, what games should we be playing right now? What games should we look out for?
Sonic Mania.
Fortnite. No, but I seriously think look out for Fortnite. I think Fortnite's gonna kind of surprise people. I mean, it is a lot like Pub, but I think that's gonna be the one that kind of surprise people down the road.
Like, how fast did they come out with that Battle Royale mod? It was like
quick.
really quickly.
Well, the game's been out for months. The PvE version has been out for months, and it's always easy to find a match of people for the PvE game. But the BR, you never wait more than 2-3 minutes any time of the day to get queued into a match.
Awesome.
And this is just the first beta build.
Yeah,
I think Destiny 2 PC is what you need to watch out for because, like I said earlier in the cast, it's night and day. And maybe it is going to be a honeymoon phase, and you're like, all right, it was pretty, it was different, but now
it's going to be for me 100%.
Same old. But at the same time, my true biggest gripes is Destiny. Yeah, it sucked when I didn't get the Gallowhorn until literally the last week it mattered. Yeah, it sucked when I watched my friends get the super awesome guns that I never got, and I kept on getting the same stuff. But I knew what I was getting when I signed up for that. The things that I never really could get over was absolutely how disgustingly toxic the PSN was. I mean, Xbox Live probably wasn't the same, but at the same time, you had no way to filter people from getting into your channel. I straight up had a kid get abused by his father. He had the living crap kicked out of him in my channel live on the PSN, and I'm sitting there fumbling trying to kick him out. And it was just like, that's just one example, but I feel that being on Battle.net is going to give you a lot more control over who you play with.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And that's going to be a really big difference, I think.
Yeah. I would, for my opinion, I'd say games to look out for is Escape from Tarkov. that game has the potential to be honestly be probably one of the best first-person realistic military simulator shooters out there. The game
I'm
is
so excited for
smooth,
Escape from Tarkov.
it's clean, it's beautiful. I mean, the firefights are, I mean, your adrenaline's pumping. They did everything right with that game. You know, you're ready to go. You know, it's punishing, it's rewarding. I would say definitely keep an eye out for the one and only EFT, Escape from Tarkov, in the future.
I'm honestly dropping $75 on that when the podcast is over. And
It's worth it, dude.
It's
And
worth
you
it,
get
man.
the bigger stash, and you won't cry as much when you have the bigger gamma case and all that stuff. It's worth it. I spent the money. I mowed another lawn and was like, all right,
I gotta do what I gotta do. Yep.
Pretty much.
And something completely random that popped into my head just talking about upcoming games. I know around January this year, one of the main developers from the EA game Skate tweeted, I think it was hashtag Skate4. I don't know if you guys care at all about skateboard games, but I'm sold. Like I was
Oh,
spend
Skate 3
$200.
was amazing.
I would spend so much money to play a new Skate game, especially if it's on PC.
correct me if I'm wrong, but Skate 3 came out like 5 years ago?
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. And
That's really
actually,
good.
there's a couple channels that have a really, really strong Skate following still.
That's
To
awesome.
me, that's pretty appealing because it shows that Skate learned from Tony Hawk and
Mhm.
that you don't necessarily need to go Madden.
Yep.
Every year. Tony Hawk 2015.
Yeah. The problem is that
Yeah.
it's EA. That's the problem. Is they're
Yeah.
like, oh man, we didn't make $1 bajillion on this. Canceled. You know, so I think it's going to be really hard for them to pull this off. But like I said, the main dev, or it's one of the main guys from that, whoever did it with EA, I can't remember the name of the developer, but he tweeted hashtag Skate4, and I pooped my pants a little bit because we need it.
I poop my pants a little bit.
just a teensy squirt.
All right, guys. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask. But this, I mean, we're wrapping up pretty good. Right now, it's about 6:20. We perfect almost 3.5 hours we've been going. I mean, it flew by like lightning. I'm gonna actually drop everybody's links to their channel. I'm gonna drop King's, Rofcast's, and Blackiechan's YouTube link in the chat, so you guys definitely can go hang out with them and follow them and show those guys some love. All right.
Thanks
But
for
I-
having us,
No
Glitch
problem,
Squad.
man. No problem.
Thank you.
And I mean, we're definitely. I think a lot of people were hyped about this. A lot of people are getting to love the podcast. I mean, the thing is, we first started. This is our 3rd episode, you know, and we're growing. We might not be the best podcast out there, but we're growing. We're learning, and I mean, it's all growing. We have growing pains just like anybody else. I mean, I honored that you guys are here. I'm honored everybody's in the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll be having this every single weekend, guys. Every single weekend. Every Sunday at 3 p.m. PST. You know,
Someone asked earlier, not that long ago, about how to grow. Opportunities like this are great. I mean, look at how many people we just got to tell our stories to.
Yep.
And we're here with our friends having a great time. So to other casters, if you see an opportunity to join in on something like this with your friends or even start one yourself, take it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
You'll love it. I mean, I like it. I like it a lot. I didn't really, I see like these like random podcasts where they're just watching random stuff or like somebody's like cross-dressed and somebody else is like they're like in a full, like box costume or something. And I'm like, well, I don't understand what's going on, but this was awesome.
Oh man, but yeah, and also guys, for you guys' information, a lot of people like, a lot of Twitch podcasts only have Twitch streamers on there. We're gonna have people that are from YouTube, from Mixer, and that's what we do. If you guys know any streamers, and I'm talking to you guys in chat or you guys in the podcast, Blackiechan, King, or Rob, if you guys know someone on Mixer, any content creator platform, you don't have to be a content creator. If you're a photographer or someone does something you think is very interesting to talk about, bring them on. This is the platform for all creatives to share their love and talk a network. Not just, you make me play video games? I do too. You're in. You know what I mean? So if you guys find any platform, whether it be Mixer, YouTube, Hitbox, anything out there, at me, at Blackiechan, at King, and let us know, and we'll definitely have them on the show. There you go.
Thank you guys for coming on.
No
All right,
problem,
guys.
No problem. But yeah, I want to wish you guys a great day, or a great night, or a great morning, whichever time it is, guys. You guys be safe. It was me, my boy Blackiechan, Glitch Side, King of Soup, Rofcast. We wish you guys have a great night.